Hello, welcome back to the Mr. Arsenal podcast. Another match day Watchalong, and we are late, and as per usual, the joys of Sunday night, and you're running around after everyone. And just really, really aggy. I'm just, oh dear. I'm sorry for that. We are here though for the Uefa Nations League live final between Spain and Portugal. It's literally just got underway as we've gone live, so. Hey ho, it is what it is. Don't build up. Apologies, but that's all really cares. Apart from wasn't seeing Yamal and Ronaldo, the protege of Yamal, dethroning Ronaldo and putting Ronaldo soundly in his place once and for all, because he is the most annoying person in the world, as far as I'm concerned, in terms of from a footballer point of view. Right, scoreboard up. Sorry, 1 second, whilst I run around doing what I've got to do. Portugal. I think Portugal are the defending champions as well of this tournament. So I say tournament, it's a glorified friendly setup. Let's be honest. All right, Pete, how you doing? you know the season's ended when this happens. I'm so I'm so disorganized. It's unbelievable. To the point where I'm literally going live as the game starts. So yeah, look forward to this. I'm fucking the Club World Cup, because I thought, I've been thinking, you know what, as long as other guys are down for the go with it, just to pass a bit of time, cover a few of the games that focus on players that we're interested in terms of like Messi's, like Inter Miami's, keeping an eye on the Man City and Chelsea, European champions PSG, things Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid under Alonso, but meaningful games, not the run of the mill where for example, Real Madrid or Atletico are going to steamroll set opposition. It's got to be a proper game, basically. Otherwise, what's the bloody point? That's the one I want, I think. Accept all that. I've got to set myself up, haven't I? Right, let's put this back up on mine. So, yeah, give me your thoughts on who. Also, big up Tom as well. Let's make it about Leeds or not. Looking at the Liverpool fans, must make it about ourselves. But anyway, I hope you're okay, Tom, and you are getting better somewhat. Well, better than what you were previously, obviously, and recovery's getting better day by day. Let's sort this font out because I'm really not in the mood. Let's have a look. See if we can do anything different. I don't even stand. No. Look at that. I'll do that point marker. There you go. How was you yesterday? Yeah, very, very, very good night, actually. Good night in general, actually. Obviously, the reason I weren't, a few people know the reason why I wasn't live for England going to didn't and thankfully, as Pete says, alludes to later on, good thing I didn't cover the game because, oh my God, that was from what I've seen and heard, I might have died of boredom. I actually got out of the house, went to the Emirates, and got a bit wet on and off throughout the day, late afternoon, early evening, but I enjoyed myself more than what I would have done watching England, apparently. But all good. And as I say, at the Emirates, so you can't go wrong there. Yep. And Gary, apologies, Gary, didn't get back. I haven't got back to you yet. As I say, been manic, busy, especially yesterday, sorting out dogs out, making sure they're fed, walked, get myself organised out, and then, as I say, spent, what was it, trying to think now? What time did I get in there? I'm trying to think what time we got in now. I want to say 5 o'clock by the time we got in the actual stadium. So we spent just over 5 hours and 20 minutes in the stadium itself. But and about an hour and a half to 2 hours once you're, in terms of not just queuing up, but once you're in, more so when we're in the hour and a half once we're in, getting absolutely fucking drenched. But still, hey ho. Oh dear. I'm gonna do all this, and it'd be like, no, you can't do this on this one. It's limited. So why not? Next. Oh, for God's sake, the hoops you got to jump through. Bloody hell. 20th. 5th. But how's your weekend's been, everyone? And yeah, what your thoughts are of this game? Okay. What? You're taking the piss. Enter the code. I ain't on the fucking TV, you bastards. This is fucking Joys of my TV and them being pain in the arses, basically. Just can't just send me the code via email. Oh no, got to be on the screen. I ain't got a fucking screen. I'm on the fucking monitors here. Fucking hell. Everything happening, by the way, in this game, 'cause I've not got it up yet. So, yeah, why not, Catherine? Why not? What did you do? Again, I've had this with Tottenham fans yesterday, the fucking knuckle dragging pricks. Oh, have you fucking nut? We've got the men's team got 2 European trophies. Not the European trophies, I keep saying, but we have got 2 European cups in our trophy cabinet. UEFA Fairs Cup in 1971 and the UEFA Cup Winners' Cup in 1994, respectively. And then you go to the women's side of things, who've got 2 UEFA Women's Champions League titles. So let's not even go there, my friend. Boy, wish we had the World Cup this year to look forward to. Well, I don't know. We're saying that, but I don't know how Catherine's going to feel. We might have to ask her about that one. And they've got Spurs Unitas himself managing the team of her respective country. Yeah, you just got to laugh, because if you don't, Catherine, you might cry. Oh dear. Oh. So the same time, James just said so. So, Catherine, I'm going to find you now. Just one memento. Whilst I'm sorting out the game on mine, you can then keep us updated on anything happens. And its company as well. Key thing there, though, apart from the women. No, I'm joking again. The thing is, you've done it the weirdest way possible, though. You started off with the Fairs Cup, Cup Winners' Cup, all that sort of stuff. You started off with that, and then you jumped straight into Champions League in 2012 and 2021, I want to say. And then you've gone backwards, and then to complete the set, you have to go put your club backwards and do the old Conference League to complete the set. Not many clubs can brag about that, going backwards to make sure they've got the complete set of European titles. Hi, Catherine, how you doing?
Oh, I'm tired. It's been a week, and it's Sunday, so work tomorrow. Not looking forward to it.
Yeah, I was a 5.5 hours. I was like, 5.5 hours standing on the spot. Pretty much hour and a half, another half hour in between in intervals, getting soaked. My legs, my lower back was killing me as we were leaving. My legs, my feet wanted to just stop standing. I put the weight, I just wanted to rest, and I was aching all over this morning just because I think I was just like, I'm better now. Like, ow, it is what it is, though.
I don't know. I think this match is going to be an interesting one. Spain's on the attack.
I think Spain win it comfortably. I think, yeah.
But I think it's going to be interesting because you have Yamal, who is his style of play is such a unique one where he's combining, foul just outside the box. Ooh.
I like this person. I like who you are. I don't know your name, so I like you. Both Spurs men and women ended one position from relegation, and both managers got sacked.
I was going to say, and you know what happened? 2 weeks later, their managers got sacked.
The women's one, I expected in the sense I thought it'd be sooner, just because of the drop off and how close not close in terms of point, but positional wise, they were that one position from relegation zone. The drop off and the fact that Villa overtook them in that last 4 or 5 match days so comfortably as well. You sort of expected it, and Tottenham we knew it was coming because in the men's team, so because 22 defeats, it was just like any other season you're relegated in that form. But it's just it's just like, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do Ange first. Well, that's out of the way, right? You're sacked as well. Get out. And they've got no one planned either for the women's team, from what I can make out.
No, I don't. Someone put out something of who the available women's managers are, or at least the managers that have previously managed women's teams. But Michelle Kang, she did what she does best, moved around players and / management within her own teams. With
I saw that.
Giraldo's moving from he was at Washington Spirit. I think he officially joined in technically July after the Barcelona season had ended, but then I think it was really August when he had moved over, and now he's going from Spain to DC to then France.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting what's going on with those players. But someone had joked about Jonathan couldn't handle there being managing a team where they actually could be losing. It would be it could lose game kind of situation where Leon and Barca are shot for Spain just wide. With Leon and Barcelona being so dominant, I mean, you go into those games assuming you're going to win because of how poor the competition is. In the NWSL, you don't really know if you're actually going to win or lose until you actually start the game. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Women's transfer window opens a week from now, I believe. And I'm not seeing any rumors for Arsenal.
Nothing yet. No, I'm not incomings or outgoings. I'm not seeing nothing yet.
Mm. I mean, the only outgoings we have are those that were leaving on free transfers or at the end of their contracts, and then the only potential in is what they've already released of contract negotiations ongoing with Chloe Kelly.
Michelle Kang is a fraud. Well, in the men's game, she's allowed to do what she's doing. So she's to the point where she's changed the name of Leon Women's Team to what it is now. She's branding up basically. She's making the most.
Yeah, she renamed it from being named after the city in which they reside, along with all the history that is with that name, to just being the Lions, translated.
Yeah.
Into French. That's it. I mean, from a women's football perspective, I think it's a great thing. You have this powerful woman who made her money making weapons, making and selling weapons, like defense contracting. Yeah. But like she's taking her money and she's putting it into oh there goes Ryan. Um ooh Nico Williams just high and wide. Um but Michelle Kang is putting her money into women's football and other women's sports. So I can't really complain on that because she's wanting to bring essentially more revenue into women's sports. So I can't fault her for that, but renaming a team like that, I mean, if she had somehow bought Arsenal, what would she rename it to? I mean, it's just a whole bunch of that. You're right there, Ryan.
I don't know. Keep getting kicked out for some reason. My channel. What's going on?
I'm not doing it.
Oh dear. But yeah, the reason what Gav answering question basically went to see Robbie Williams at the Emirates, not his second night in London, and also he had Rag and Bone Man as his warm up artist and other bits and pieces added in as well. So yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's on my screen, but it's just not showing me the best quality. One sec. Try another source. What is right?
First yellow card of the game handed out. I think it was the first yellow.
Oh, what's this?
The Germany France game earlier today was I was expecting it to be better.
I didn't watch it. Yeah.
Either 1-1 goes to extra time or 2-1 in 90 or more than 3 goals scored. Make it a goal thriller of like a 4-3, 3-1. But Germany just couldn't get their chances in the first half.
Oh dear. Talking about bad starts of the season and all that. What's going on in Poch? 4 defeats now. 4.
I don't know. I don't follow the men's team. I mean, like the CONCACAF Gold Cup or any of those. It's like you know that they're good enough to qualify and win those like minor trophy type things, but
We have a goal apparently.
I mean, in the World Cup, I can't see who's on the I don't know these players. Yamal driving in, assist, nope. Bobbles. There's the goal.
Scrappy
Zubamendi.
Gilbert. Zubamendi. Ooh.
Yeah.
Future Arsenal midfielder.
They bobbled that so much. But yeah, the U.S. men's national team got you know that they're either going to be just good enough to squeak by in the World Cup, finishing second in a group, or they're going to be just bad enough to like lose on goal difference in the group stage. Like that's kind of like the men's standard.
What was the whole point of bringing someone like Potts, caliber? I know I don't rate him and all that, but a caliber of that sort of manager who was meant to elevate and give a year and a half, only a year and a half by the way, to prepare, give you guys a bit of hope, basically, that it wasn't going to be Groundhog Day, basically, like it has been in previous years.
Yeah.
It's just weird how, again, with the women's team, US women's team, Emma Hayes, you get it right because obviously she's the pedigree, she's got the proven record at Chelsea, etc. in her career, and they've gone. I don't know. I don't get why it had to be Potts of all the managers they could have brought in, even
Yeah,
if it was the World Cup.
I have very high expectations for Emma Hayes. I think, I mean, her first real test is going to be, well, I mean, she had the Olympics, but the Olympics is such a quick tournament that you don't really get a good understanding of everything. And she had only been managing for like what 2 months by the time that the Olympics started, so she wasn't really like working with the team at that point. So, I mean, her next big test is going to be the World Cup because there's not really, I mean, there's not a good comparison to like the women's Euros for CONCACAF. There's not,
Hmm.
I mean, any CONCACAF tournament, you are pretty much guaranteeing it's going to be a Canada versus US final, just because of how dominant those have
Two teams, yeah. Even again the Olympics and all that, it's going to be either yourself or Canada again, because in years gone by, not obviously the last Olympics, it was pretty much you were set up for yourself to go and do what you did. Because Canada massively dropped off because they're going through the transition of rebuild basically ahead of the next Women's World Cup and all that, and getting ready for that. It's just a bit too early. This Olympics came a bit too early for them, basically, but that's the way it's always been, and obviously with the Olympics as well, it's not like you can go up against England, because if England qualify, you've then got to put it Team GB with us over here. You'd have to have a bit of Scottish, a bit of Welsh, a bit of Irish. It wouldn't be the same. So it's like you've already got that advantage there, because your teams collectively, they played with each other week in, week out when they do come to town, basically. And you've got some cracking. Again, you're going for that, but on the disappointment of the last World Cup for the USA women's team, it was a disappointment to your standards.
It was down to the manager. The manager, I think Vlatko, he was a great manager in the NWSL, but I think that's where he excels, is at the club level and not the international level. I mean, that kind of showed, but when you get given, there goes Williams. Oh, goal kick. Jenna Neiswanger, she did not get called up for this international window that just passed.
I think she's on. She's one of them players that are coming through now, and she's coming through the system.
Yeah, I think had she been still playing with Gotham, in 1-1. I think if she was still playing for Gotham, she would have gotten a call up. But I mean, she didn't really play for Arsenal this season in the second half when she joined.
Yeah, she got the other.
And I think Emma Hayes is really wanting to try and cultivate more of that. Nuno Mendes, that was a great goal.
After I hit 25 my stream.
I'm at 2550.
Not so bad. But no,
yeah,
she was getting minutes. She got a few minutes here and there, but I think it's more of allowing her to adjust from coming over from the USA. Usually 6 months to adjust, get used to her surroundings, and then next season we might see a bit more of a.
And I think Emma Hayes is wanting to bring in, some of that younger squad. And I mean, I know that Jenna's still only like 23, 22, something like that. But she's 24. but she's a left back, so to try and get into the Arsenal squad, I actually think she can play either side, but I think she's a natural left back. For her to try and break
Check
through the
all the way,
Arsenal squad,
apparently.
I think going into this season with cup games and all of that, Jenna can get a lot more rotation in. But I don't know. I think if Arsenal were to sign another American, who I would either say go for Lily Johannes, who currently plays for Ajax, but Emma wanted her at Chelsea before she left, and she's probably going to end up going to Chelsea. But she's 18 and magic on the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, could go CDM and go for Sam Coffey. But I mean, there's a lot of. I mean, I would say go for another Spaniard, but your options are pretty much limited to the Barca squad, and unless they're willing to part with Aitana, wouldn't really go for anyone else.
It'll be an interesting summer for us anyway, because obviously like we said for the last couple of weeks now, I think we're going to have a bigger pool than Chelsea, just because we can say, we've had the history of 2007. We now can say in recent times we are the European champions. You want to come to us and win the Champions League in England? This is the cup to do it at, because we've got the pedigree now. We've got the belief. Chelsea.
Ooh! Damn, dude. You should have had that. Sorry. You were saying?
No, I was just saying, like, this is going to be an interesting summer for us in terms of recruitment, incomings and outgoings.
Yeah.
For the girls, because we've now got something we didn't think we'd probably have. Being honest, at the start of the season, that's arguably bigger pool than Chelsea, because we can say we're the European champions. Out of us and Chelsea, we can actually not guarantee, but give you more of a chance of winning it with us than at Chelsea. Chelsea have been trying for X amount of years. They can only do it domestically. We are looking to do it domestically, but we've got the European pedigree to fall back on as well, and we want to do it more than just one off. Oh, bloody hell, what happened there?
Is that the Nico Williams goal, chance on goal?
Yeah. What was keeper doing?
Yeah.
He's lucky. If Nico's street smart, he takes a touch, he takes a foul there and goes down for the penalty. If he's smart.
I think the outgoings is going to be the more interesting side of things. But I think they can also, depending on who we would potentially be selling players to, could also inflate their cost some, because they have that on their resume, on their CV, saying, "Yeah, I'm a European champion."
Mm-hmm. The interesting one's going to be from what we've got currently is what we're going to do with Rosa Cavaci. Is she going to fight for a place, or is she going to want to go out alone?
Yeah, I think the rumor on that one though is that she just wasn't putting in the work. She was just expected.
Training field,
yeah, like an attitude problem.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when she was playing for the Swedish side, I think BK Hakkinen was where she was playing, where we signed her from.
Yeah.
I think in that squad, she was, one of their top players. But then, and they had European football, so like they were in the Champions League, so that's not an issue. But you go from being one of the best players to not really. You gotta put in the work for it. And as Champions 25 here has pointed out, for whoever you are, Arsenal has the pull of you can play in front of big ass crowds. Like our average attendance this year dropped by like 1,000, but
I think that's more on how the season started with Jonas. If I'm being honest.
Yeah, I mean, you, another chance from them. The plan is to still. I think Arsenal had released it a little bit earlier, but still planning on WSL games in the Champions League home games to be played at the Emirates, and then you would have the Subway Cup and the FA Cup being played at the other stadium. And so to have the draw of potentially playing in front of consistently probably 45 plus thousand people, I mean, that's a big thing if you're wanting that big club feel football match versus Chelsea, who their highest attendance when they were playing at the Bridge this season was against Arsenal.
Yeah.
Like 2 years ago, or 2 seasons ago now, when Chelsea first opened up the Bridge for the Arsenal match, do you remember how they marketed it?
With our players.
They put like Viv on
That's
the
me,
face.
Williamson.
Yeah, you had all the Arsenal players, and it was just come to the Bridge to watch us take on the Arsenal.
Yeah, not Millie Bright, not Sam Kerr,
Well,
Cuthbert.
I don't think at that point you could even put Sam Kerr on because she was injured.
But I'm saying they've got all these megastars. And my point is they've got all these megastars themselves, and they're like, look, use the Arsenal one for promo. It's like bloody hell.
Yeah, I think of in the top 10, either Arsenal have the top 10 attendance records, or they have. I think they have 8 of the 10. One of them is the Chelsea Arsenal game at the Bridge, and the last one is Manchester Derby. Couldn't tell you where it was being played, but it was one of the. I think it was this past season.
It might have been I can't remember now. But yeah, but that's the thing. It's like you say, we have got that pool of actually as well. Not only the European champions, we can actually we've got more of a chance because of our history or this, that, and the other of winning, competing for Champions League and all that. It is the attempt. We have got we can say even because we play pretty much all our games now in the league at the Emirates, we put in around 45k at worst in a 60,000 capacity stadium. And there's time to even sell out the place. And the Champions 25 says, I'm just worried about the amount of money Chelsea are going. Well, this season's just proven, actually, if you think about it. Back in January, they spent over, they spent the record, £1 million for a player?
And Naomi Girma had a stinker of a season when she played.
But my point is, my point is that Chelsea are as a club are flexing the muscle financially. Yeah, they still can't get over the line in the European things. We're not having to do that. We got Russo on a free, Chloe Kelly on loan, potentially a free there if that all goes.
We got Caldente on free.
Yeah, Caldente. We're not having to, even the players we do bring. We're not overspending. Look what we're doing.
I feel like we got to be having a shit ton of money just in the bank on the women's side. I mean, we do well with getting our young players out on loan, and I don't know if we're paying still 100% of their wages or splitting it 50-50 with who they're out on loan for. I mean, yeah, we do have some players that leave on freeze as well, so we aren't really getting anything there. But we still have business that's being attended to. But where they're just Chelsea just seem to be falling short with the shit ton of money that they. I mean, how much? I don't know all of the transfers that they've had, but I mean, Lucy Bronze, I think, is their last free transfer that they brought in.
Yeah, from Barcelona.
Because they paid for Myra Ramirez after in the January window after Sam Kerr tore her ACL. They might have paid for Kat Macario, but she might have been on free, but that was Leon didn't want to renew her contract because she was still recovering from an ACL injury.
Mm.
They, I'm pretty sure they paid for me official. They set a world record fee for a defender to bring in Naomi Girma, who was having a um, not so great season at San Diego, but that might have been because she was being managed by Jonas. Um, and then um, and then they spent a shit ton of money on Kira Walsh.
Yeah.
And so they brought in these two players who, don't get me wrong, I love Naomi Girma. She is great for the U.S. and she did some wonderful things for San Diego, but did not do well. I mean, she was injured. She was not. Did not get through the flow of English football probably as quickly as Sonia wanted her to. But um, there we go. Cairo's the most expensive signing at 300K. But like, also look at what we're doing with the academy. Like, who
Mm.
we have coming through our academy. I mean, Freya Godfrey, she was out on loan at London City Lionesses. Look at what they did in the championship. Yeah, she doesn't have WSL minutes, but she's probably, next step up on playing in the, like, potentially going out on loan this season at a WSL club. Look at what Michelle Ajiman did at Brighton.
Mm.
I mean, she did so well that she won like player of the season
Yeah.
or young player of the season
And she's now in the
over
squad for the
over their
Euros.
permanent players.
And she's got herself in the squad for the Euros as well.
Yeah.
Even with
Look
the
at what
squad players,
Katie
but
Reed
still.
did. Look at what Katie Reed's been able to do all season.
Mm. But and obviously, Gav's been getting a bit about it. In terms of talking about Chelsea, we have to talk about Chelsea women's team because you're the standard in terms of competitive wise. It's us and you. It's basically us and you going up against Arsenal and Chelsea going head to head of each other because United aren't good enough. Let's be honest. City aren't. They're not what they could be with all the money they pump into their squad respectively. So you are the standard. Of course, you're going to be brought into the discussion of what we're talking about. It is what it is. And no, we don't do things perfect. No team does it perfectly. But we are just saying that we don't have to throw money. There he is. We don't have to throw money over the odds money. By the way, over paying for players in the hunt for achieving stuff. But we haven't never done in terms of obviously Emma Hayes tried it all them years with you. It hadn't worked. She then obviously moved on. She decided to move on. Um, you bring in Sonia, thinking that would be the next best thing. Hasn't worked out. In the meantime, you did break the record for a transfer fee of a player, and it hadn't worked. Not just for the personnel, but for the team in general. You bought more experienced players in. Yeah, it did well for you domestically because all that again, way we start the season because of you know who. And again, the other clubs not being to the standard to keep up with you in general as well. Of course, you got to fucking walk the league the way you did and do what you did domestically. We don't have to challenge there. As soon as there was a bit of a challenge there in Europe, same things happen. That's what we're trying to say. Maybe it's not a case of having to spend on big players and big salaries, etc. It may be buying, bringing wisely, build a squad wisely. You don't have to just, as I say, throw money at the situation and hope for the best. We have literally just proven that this year that you don't have to. You literally do not have to throw money at your squad. You look at bulk of our squad. Most of them were brought in on free for crying out loud, and our biggest transfer is Cooney Cross, who's currently a squad player.
Um, yeah, let's see. I'm trying to find an answer
Hi,
to
Rosie.
Hi, Rosie. Trying to find an answer to Champions 25
About the
question
wages, yeah.
of where you can find the women's wages. The only thing that I've been able to see is that Leah Williamson is on 200K a year.
A year, by the way, a
So
year.
you can do the breakdown math on that, but not seeing anything on um, where they're at.
No, and this is the thing. The women's
One person.
players, the women's players, especially are like Williamson, Beth Mead, and all that, and Russo. They're basically, even though this is a full-time thing for them now, players, like compared to like 15 years ago, you had to be you was part-time. You had to have a part-time job on the side to live. They're having to make their living on the work they're doing off the pitch in terms of advertising roles and things like that. That's where their money, that's where their big bucks is coming from to keep them afloat. 200K a year for a footballer.
Yeah, this one article, the title of this is Arsenal Women's Williamson 200K per year versus Thomas Partey, who's on 200K per week.
Yeah, perspective.
Arsenal's women's total wage bill is 4.3 million, spread across 44 playing and non-playing staff, up to
Yep.
2.6 million, up from 2.6 million across 35 staff the year before.
Oh, that's really okay.
Financial statements should be public record, so you could. I mean, when United was going through the whole thing with Jim Ratcliffe saying, had I not stepped in and started firing people, United would have run out of money by November. I got curious and I looked up Manchester United's financial statements, and financial statements really for any institution, they should be public record, so that certain things are obviously going to be redacted, but
Got another goal apparently.
I know that financial statements should be made public from major companies so that you can see pretty much how much profit they have. Spain on the attacks, I'm assuming it's a Spain goal. Pedri to ooh. I don't know whoever their striker's name is. I can't say his name. So
But I'm assuming it's Spain went ahead then.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, financial statements tend to have maybe a little bit more detail. They might not have the full player breakdown, but they might have at least their top player and how much money is being made by each side.
That's poor defended by the way. I can't see it. What one's it? Oh, it's got Sociedad Blad. I can't pronounce his name, but I know you're. Yeah. I can't pronounce his name. I'm not even trying.
His name is Mikel, so that's going to be
not Moreno, but Mikel.
Did you know that Portugal has only had 2 shots so far? And Spain has only had 2 shots on target, and they have both been goals.
Apparently, the VAR check says Rosie, so I'm putting that there. Well, they're claiming for a foul on Bernardo. I'll play it. I'm watching it now. No way. There's no way they cannot give that as a foul. And he's way onside.
Goal given.
Good. Did you see the Les Dennis? No, I haven't. I actually haven't, no. The only video from a celebrity I've seen this weekend is Dawn French, and that's not gone down, we'll put it that way. She may have cancelled herself stupidly and cost us, and just basically cost her career, basically, in terms of bloody, I know she's put a statement out hours later apologising, but hours too late, to be honest. So obviously, but I don't know if you know who Dawn French is over in the States, but yeah. Basically, she's a comedian. She's an actress but she's more like the comedic actress basically. She's not better. One of her roles was for a role in a show called Vicky Dibley, and done it for like 15 odd years. But yeah, now she does advert stuff for one of the supermarkets over here. But yeah, she did a video of her own accord and put it out on her own platform. And it's just to say she got involved in politics when she shouldn't get involved, especially that sort of politics. It seemed like you're mocking genocide, basically. Not the ideal thing to do. But I'm not seeing no less than this thing. Go and search. I'm not going to glorify it or put it up, go out on it on here, but if you put Dawn French in the search engine, Rosie, and you'll come across it. Trust me.
Well, this has definitely been a more exciting first half than any of the last 4 national games that I've seen.
I was saying before, I'm thankful I didn't have to. I'm thankful I was out yesterday because I actually got asked by someone this morning. Did anyone do a stream for your game last night? I was like, nope. Obviously, yourself and Gary, time zone wise, had things to do. Liam was out on the lash, and it's just like, so yeah. And plus, it's England. It's like, was it a qualifier, by the way? Or was it Nations League? It's qualifier, wasn't it?
Qualifier, yeah.
So yeah.
Honestly, when it came out who they were playing, I mean, no offense to Andorra, but if I'm looking at strictly from a FIFA World Rankings perspective, or who the powerhouses are, I would have expected England to win the first half 3-0 and win the game at a respective 5-0. Not we scraped by and we got 1 goal.
Yeah, it's just a one goal. I know it's a third game for Tommy Tuchel from an England point of view, but the players we have and all that, we shouldn't be. Yeah, and I know he's come out and said, "Oh, first off, I loved how we started." I've lost the game back, and I think apparently he's come out and said, "I loved how we started the game. It's the way we ended the game. I'm really pissed off with." I was like, "Okay, fair enough." But you can't. As long as he doesn't do this, I'm going to turn on player X and player Y publicly, straight from the off. Otherwise, you're going to lose this. You're going to lose the adjustment straight away. Keep that sort of shit private. Whoever you're upset with, just keep it private, basically. Did you see the story about Dawn Fence and you mean Lenny Henry? No, I haven't. No. Bulgarian Guna says England Spain is such a great side. We said this a year ago, by the way, before the Euros, but the Euros are giving them the confidence. Fair play to them.
Yeah.
Formerly producing great play for 20 years now. Well, they had that dip off, didn't they, after their dominance, the 3 or 4 dominance they had between Euros and World Cup, respectively. They've had that drop off, but out of nowhere last summer, they turned up, got the trophy, and have kicked on. Fair play, because they're going to got players like Yamal and all that. You've got and obviously Zubimendi and all that in their squad. A young, vibrant team, ready and raring to go. They can't really complain, can they? I mean, they're going to be up there for favourites as it stands with the World Cup next year. Honestly, it's been a good game. I'll give the game its due from once I got it on my screen. It's been a good game, so to speak, better than what I've had recently. I've had to watch recently, but I thought Spain would be more comfortable than what they have been. The Portugal goal came against a run of play as well for me. Like there was nothing until that moment from the Portugal point of view, but hey.
All right. Question of the day.
Go on.
brief backstory here. Back in January of 24, so 18 months ago, Sam Kerr tore her ACL. So putting her out, minimum earliest she would be back would be, probably around October. So fairly soon into the WSL season. She's still not back January of 24. She's not back at Christmas. Not back in 12 months later. She's now, I think, around December, she announced that she and her partner, Christy Mules, were expecting. So then, or maybe it was sooner than that, but she's now a new mom. Baby was born like a month ago. I think it came out like 2 weeks ago that she was having like another surgery, not related to her ACL.
No, of course not. No.
We are now 18 months since she's done her ACL. The question, and she's not out of contract yet. The question is, will she? It's kind of a twofer. Will she play at all this season in the WSL, or will she just retire? She's third something.
It's going to be dependent on the rehab now.
Yeah.
I know they're not saying it's ACL related, but it's got to be ACL. For her not to have been back, I know she had a off the pitch situation with the courts here in the UK to deal with as well. However, she has had surgery again, and they're trying to say it's not ACL. It could, as far as we're concerned, it may well be. More likely is the case they're trying to keep it hush hush, like the scared Chelsea fans, maybe. But if it's the case, that side of things, if it is the case that it's due to a relapse.
I mean, it might have
basically from this
right,
surgery.
Yeah, so it wasn't the club that said, "Hey, yeah, she's out." It was Joe Montemurro who took over as the Matildas coach that said, "Yeah, she's recently has undergone an additional surgery unrelated to her original ACL tear." But okay, this is how like confident that Chelsea were into making it further into the Champions League, and how confident they were in getting her back. They listed her as one of the available players as after the January transfer window. You've had some ingoing, outgoing. Who is going to be on your Champions League squad? And they had her.
So yeah, obviously Gav's getting in the chat as well. We've talked about Kepa now. Oh, fantastic!
You know what? You know what, Gav? You and your club, you're seeing it as a £5 million profit.
There's not a profit for
because Arsenal is paying $5 million for him. You know what though? You fucking bought him for $80 million. So it's actually I don't know if you learned this in math class, but when you spend 80 million and you're selling them for $5 million, that's a $75 million loss. That's not a $5 million pickup. But I don't know if your math is the same math that I was taught.
Yeah, in English sterling, they gave Athletic Bilbao £71 million.
I think
they're getting $5 million from him now.
I feel like there might have been some add-ons on that because
there will be add-ons up to 80. I think that yeah.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, Gav, it's £5 million. He's going to be the backup. He's not going to be starting for us. Yeah, he won't be starting in the sense of league games unless Vega gets a fucking injury.
Hey, knock on wood on that. Don't be putting that in the air. Knock on wood.
I'm just saying in terms of the idea is he's just going to play the League Cup, FA Cup, respectively. So it's going to be, if he does piss me off, it'll be a handful of times. That's it. I'll suck it up for a handful. It's not like we're spending £30 million for a goalkeeper to be number 2, to be 3 games in and be the number 1. Kepa's going to be the number 2. There's none of it for once. We're not bringing a goalkeeper in to be the number 2. With 3 games to be the number 1. So
people were also saying, under Arteta's management, Arsenal have bought 5 keepers, 6 now, 6 in 6 seasons, and I don't know the official numbers on it, but I'm gonna say it's maybe 100 mil, 150 for 6. I feel like that's a bit high. I don't know the numbers on these, and Ramsdale won. He was like Premier League keeper of the season. Raya won it when he was on loan, and he won the Golden Glove last year. He won it this year in conjunction with Matt Sells. Chelsea have spent, I think, 200 plus million on 8 or 9 keepers now, and you can't keep consistent with who you want playing. Arsenal at least knows what they want.
No, exactly. And it's just to say, the club knows what they want. Well, more so, Arteta knows what he wants in terms of squad. It's not just personnel in terms of starter players, but squad as well. If he believes Kepa can give something even as a number 2 for cup games, again, it's just cup games and the occasional cannon fodder game in the Champions League, depending on obviously how the draw plays out next season for us and that side of things. It's experience to fall back on. If the worst was to happen to David if he got suspended or he had a little knock, we've got, unlike for the last couple of years, but this year would have had Neto. Yes, he's experienced, but he's just crap. I never rated Neto. I don't rate Kepa, but I don't rate Neto even more. Proven by the game against was it Girona or what?
Girona?
Girona, that's it. Girona, sorry. In the Champions League, when you always got sent off in like 5 minutes, basically. But even
he's had some pretty questionable shit, and people were like, "Oh, this is the Kepa that you're gonna get," where he got chipped. Okay, it was Marmoush's goal that I feel like went on to like win goal of the month or something, but I think Raya would have been in the same spot. Like Marmoush is like just past the halfway line when he fires the shot off, and Kepa was thinking he was going to be driving it a little bit further. In regards to keepers, did you see the potential the amateur Irish team? Not even going to say it. They're the amateur Irish Rangers. They're set to earn about 3 million euros from Keller's transfer to Brentford, because I don't know how true this is, but when Keller signed for Liverpool 10 years ago from the amateur Irish team, they had a 20% sell-on clause. I don't know if that's still valid with all the additional contracts that have happened, but an amateur team could be set to have 3 million euros just from a sale that happened 10 years ago.
Champions 25 says I don't want anywhere near my club. I was in the chat here with my friend on Monday when Liam and Brooksy are doing the men's review and all that, and this news broke initially. This could happen. I was the only one in the chat going, no. I got even Liam was like, you have enough 5 million quid. Like, no, but I don't want another fucking Chelsea reject. Yes, I'm saying all this now in terms of experience and this, that, and the other. I'm having to get my head around it because I know it's going to happen now in terms of recent news that's come out in the last 24 hours and all that. So I'm having to get my head around it because of what it is. So in my head, as far as I'm concerned, he's going to play a handful of games no matter what in terms of when it comes to the League Cup, you'll play the early rounds, and once it gets to like the semi-final, final, David will take over number 1, the goalkeeping duties there. Same in the FA Cup, depending on how far we get in that. Same thing will happen there. So it's a handful of games. I can suck it up, but it's not like
He's five. It's for $5 billion. It's not like we're spending 50 on him.
I know. It's just
Donnarumma.
It's just this thing of why we keep going to Chelsea for.
Donnarumma is up for sale, and I honestly think that the the list price that they have him there for, it's like dirt cheap. I mean, the dude just had like the season of his life, and he's got Champions League now thrown on there, so he must be wanting like an insane amount of wages. Then, I mean, if the club are wanting to sell him, I feel like it's less than 80. Like, if you want to bring up that Kepa number, even 72, I feel like it's like 10 or 15 million. I mean, it's insane, but I don't know. I've got the team starting to come back out.
I've currently got the state outside of the stadium on my screen in the Nations League colours in terms of the yellow, white, red, white, blue, green, whatever. But yeah, as I say, I'm getting my head around it because I know it's inevitable. I can't just sit here and go, throw my toys at the pram. It is what it is. We have to move and sort of go with the flow, basically. The more important thing comes life. Always again, and I will say this: the one thing that really annoys me, we're 8 days into this current this mini window, if you will, of the summer.
Yeah.
It's like, but Liverpool, Man City have to because of the Club World Cup. Chelsea have to get their house in order as well, so to speak, in terms of get the wheels in motion for them side of things because of Club World Cup. Liverpool are just flexing their muscle because they are the Premier League champions and they can do that. We've technically we have flexed our muscle. We have got Zubimendi done. We just can't officially announce it until July 1st onwards for financial reasons for Real Sociedad. We're keeping good relations with them because obviously in years to come we want one more players from them. We can do because they all have that good relationship. We just go, no, fuck you and your financials. Boom. It'll cause anarchy going forward.
I was going to say, didn't we get more than one player from them? No, Odegaard went from Real Sociedad to Real Madrid, and then we got him from Real Madrid.
Yeah,
and then we got Mourinho from Real Sociedad
as well. Yeah.
But
with Odegaard, he was on loan at Sociedad and went back to Madrid. Well, yeah, I know what you're saying, but we've got you want to keep. My point is, you want to keep in good relations with the club. You don't want to just upset him just because you want to your fans want to play him in early and all that. No, just we know it's coming. No, it's going to happen. Just relax, take a breather on that side of things. The striker situation looks like it's going to play out the way it looks in terms of Sesko. It's going to be interesting. It's really interesting in terms of the left wing. There's a lot of names getting thrown at the left wing. I don't want Sane. I know it's a free. I don't. He's aged. No.
Who? Sane?
Leroy Sane is a free agent. Not for me.
I think the only benefit that he would provide, get over the fact that he's old, but if you can have the older player come in and help lift spirits up and guide, those that are behind him and try and provide, that competition of if you aren't good enough, you're going to have this guy that's 7 years older than you who's, on the cusp of retirement. He's going to be beating you out, like, just to try and have, some of that positional competition. I think that's one of the reasons why Raya ended up falling off. It's like Neto wasn't really much of a competition for him.
Well, no, from the get-go.
He's too young. I mean, you're not going to bring him in for any of the major games. So it's just this whole thing. Welcome to the chat, Kermit.
Yeah. No, it's just a whole. People need to get their head around things. Like I say, I've accepted the Kepa's going to happen in terms of I'm not the biggest fan about it, but it is what it is. We have to move and go with it. He's the number 2. It might be a kick up the arse, isn't it? Because he's a Spanish international. He's a 2-time. Ironically, he's actually won the Champions League twice with Chelsea and Madrid. Real Madrid. Chelsea, he just joined. No, Mendy overtook him, but he was the number 2 at the time for that season. And Real Madrid, he was on loan from. And it was a weird season where he was number 1, number 2, 1, number 2. It's a weird one that year because obviously Courtois done his ACL. No, it is what it is. It may, as I say, maybe to kick up the arse that Bayern needs to keep his head on the ground, his feet on the ground, sorry, and stop having these scary moments like he did at the back. He did. Let's be honest. He did drop off certain games and had them shaky moments because he knew Neto was never been brought in on as a loanee anyway to put any pressure on David to keep the standards up. Now we're bringing someone in who's not going to be alone. It could be a permanent signing for whatever long it's going to be. But Raya now knows he's got a permanent backup that's there, waiting for his chance, and knowing, and obviously with the public, obviously publicly we all know how Arteta likes to usually run with things when it comes to goalkeepers every year and a half or 2 years. Poor bastards. Raya needs to sort of wake up a bit. I'm seeing this from an upfilm for my age and all that.
Bruno Fernandes with a goal.
Wow. Go on.
Offside.
Oh, it's offside as well. Bulgarian Guna says in chat, you won't get a better goalkeeper for £5 million. I don't rate him as number 1. He's not going to be a number 1. If it was number 1, I'd be like, what the fuck are you playing at?
He was offsides. Not as far offsides as Ronaldo is. Like, Ronaldo was just like, I don't really need to get back. I mean, Ronaldo's like 10 or 15 yards offsides. I'm like,
oh my, he's way offside. Bloody, I've seen it.
Yeah, and Bruno, like, yeah, he's a couple feet, but like, you look at where Ronaldo's at. Any closer, he'd be inside the box, and you could call up for interference with the keeper. Like, jeez.
Literally, Ronaldo could be holding the goalkeeper's hand. As you
Yeah.
The fact that Martinez, the manager of Portugal, thought that was a good goal. Like, okay, good finish. But
you want something, dude?
Oh, dude, you got to laugh. But no, look. Oh no, shush.
Did you just shush a cat, or
well,
like did I hear a little meow, or?
He's literally laying on his back on said bed, staring at me, and occasionally making noise.
All right, so I'm not going crazy that I heard a little cat sound. All right.
No, the cat's up here. Wants to be up here today, so we're letting him be up here. I'm not sure. Oh, don't you start? He's not even officially done in terms of publicly. Give the lad a chance. Of fuck. You say this literally for anyone that's going to doubt Zubimendi. Last year, the Euros, half time, Rodri goes off. We all know Rodri. We all think Rodri's going off. Zubimendi's coming on. I foolishly thought as well myself. Oh, Rodri's going off. This could be benefit. This could be anything. Within 2 minutes, Zubimendi's had an impact in the game, and they're 1-0 up, and it was like okay. And he literally had an impact throughout the second half to get him over that line. He's a good midfielder. Simple as. He's not. It wasn't just a thing of Arsenal after him. Put it this way, Colonel. Liverpool wanted him. It was believed to have been done last year. Arteta had to reach out privately and convince him to hold off for another year. That they really himself and the club really wanted him to come to Arsenal. For him to actually backtrack on his agreement with Liverpool to stay put for another year.
You know, there have been several players. By several, I feel like, you know, between two and 4 players in the past, I'll say 4 transfer windows, not including the current one, because it's still active, but that have been, Liverpool are about to sign this player, and they either stay where they're at or they end up going to Arsenal. I feel like Zubamendi is not the first one that has essentially turned down Liverpool, but I don't know. There's still a lot to be seen for the transfer window so far. Um, someone did say that uh, they should they should do a transfer window TV show where you are not allowed to announce any signings that you make in the transfer window until like the last week, and on that last week you stand in front of the TV. All right, Arsenal, announce your signings, and then you have all the players that you signed in the window walk out on stage or something and say, "This is who we've signed."
Just seen this in our little group chat that we have. Some breaking news for Tottenham fans. Rejoice, rejoice. Postman Pat and his black and white cat, Jess, are taking over at Tottenham.
Congratulations! All right.
I love that. I saw that. I thought I've got to share that.
June. Okay, what's happening on June 30th that I would have a bet being come up that says next club to win a major trophy, and it's between United and Crystal Palace, and they're calling it Premier League, FA Cup, EFL Cup, Champions League, Europa League, Conference League. Why just between
I
United
think
and
it's reset because obviously I think that means obviously resetting for next season basically. Like the
it's just
betting company just gone.
yeah, it's just interesting that they have those two clubs listed. I was trying to see what the current odds were for the 25-26 Premier League title. Um, you will be, or not, you will be, Mr. Tom will be happy that Leeds are not at the bottom of that. Burnley and Sunderland are both at plus 100,000 odds. So that is, bet $10, win 10,000. Um, Leeds are so it goes Sunderland, Burnley. Those are both at plus 100,000. Brentford and Wolves are at 80,000.
Bloody hell.
Leeds, Fulham, Palace are all at 60,000. So that would win you $6,000 if you bet 10. And then so that's at 60,000, and then you have West Ham and Everton at 38,000. Like there's such a drop off there. Forest is at 12,000, Villa 3,900, Manchester United 2,600.
Bloody
You win
hell.
$260 if you bet $10. The Potatoes are at plus 4,800. The one we all care about, Arsenal. You can win $25 on that if you bet 10.
Bloody hell. We used to get them sort of mad odds over in Leicester ruined it by winning a league. We don't get them odds anymore over here. Apparently the bookies here in the UK decided at the time after
Oh my god! I'm sorry. Did you just chuck your cat?
I didn't chuck him. I just literally placed him onto the bed. My bed literally right here.
Well,
so it was like, there you go.
I think there was some error that I saw between fur and hands, where it looked like you were like I assumed that the bed was right there, but it looked like you just did a hard. Let me just you just yeet me across there.
Oh dear. Oh, safe from the keeper for Portugal. I'm way behind, by the way. I'm like 55-25 on mine, 26.
I just hit 56. Nothing's really happening right now, so. Arteta has won 2 trophies. Thank you very much.
Factually not true.
Right, but it'll depend on I think who you ask, because apparently when Arteta won the Community Shield, it was not considered a trophy, but when Manchester City won it, they considered
It's a
it a trophy.
trophy, yeah.
So, and this was before I started actually following Arsenal. Didn't he also win the FA Cup like during COVID or something? Like he has
Yeah,
two
yeah,
trophies.
2020 FA Cup. Yeah, so technically, Rosie, as I say, factually, Rosie's incorrect.
I mean, you could even if you weren't to count the Community Shield, he still has one trophy. Might be a COVID trophy, but it's a trophy nonetheless. Ronaldo's
Calendar
offside.
goals.
No shit, the dude lives in offside space. He's like he is like the Stina Blackstenius, though she tries to stay on side, but I think she just goes too early, or maybe she's expecting the ball to be delivered to her sooner.
Yeah, so yeah, the dog is downstairs. Got company downstairs, but she's downstairs asleep at the moment. Hence why this one wants to be up here. He's now just staring into. What are you actually looking at? He's staring at the wall.
This second
Oh
half,
dear.
there's we're 12 minutes in, pretty fucking boring. Nah,
Oh, it looks like you're. Sorry, Rosie. It looks like you're just stating a fact in terms of, oh, Andrew's won more than Arteta has. It's like, no, 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 no. They've won equally. They've won one each, technically. Well, actually, as Catherine says, depending on who you ask. If you ask, because when Man City or Liverpool, anyone else wins Community
yeah.
Shield,
If you asked the question
it's a
12 months
trophy.
ago, they would be equal on trophies. If you ask them now, with how they are counting things, then Arteta has won two.
Then the technically Arteta's got three. Technically,
Oh, two
two
community shields.
FA Cup and two, yeah, two Community Shields, yeah, because he won the FA Cup in 2020, and then obviously a week or a couple of weeks later in that COVID season, played Liverpool in the behind the closed doors game in the Community Shield. Won that one on penalties. Then obviously won the one recently against City a couple of years back. So it depends on what you look at it. What dog we've got two dogs. We've got the oldest dog who's 14 going on 15 in December, touch wood. Um, she's a crossbreed Siberian Husky Welsh Border Collie. And the youngest one is just over a year old, going on to just shy of a year and a half currently. She's a full Border Collie. And she pops up, most of the time she's up here with me throughout the season. And when asked, being the men and women's team score from the Arsenal point of view, we score, even if she's in a deep sleep, she'll wake up and she'll jump all over me basically. So yeah.
I don't have any dogs. I wish I did, but I have two nephews. This is one of them. His name is Guinness. According to the vet, he is now entering his senior years. He is 6
Ooh.
now, I think.
So yeah, 6 years is seven. 6 of our years is seven in terms of what every year is
Yeah,
7 years
so
basically.
he's 42 ish or 49. He's
Yeah,
he's the vet has said he. Oh yeah, that's a Ronaldo goal. Um,
it would be, wouldn't it?
um,
It would be.
so he
It's
I
nothing
think
all game.
is 6 or 7. Um, he does have an eye problem, and he is a pity mix. He's just an anxious boy, and he loves his grandpa sweater. And then this is his younger brother Prismo. Um, he is a silken windhound, um, which if you don't know what that is, and you know what a greyhound is, it's like a greyhound just with long hair. So he Prismo loves to go running, and he will just spin in circles because it's like his back legs have too much momentum for his front legs, kind of things. Um, but the two brothers, they complement each other so well. And Prismo's three now, I think.
Okay.
All right, Russ saying, I knew we should have signed Ronaldo 20 years ago. Um, I think he just signed a contract extension with his current Saudi club, which I'm a little bit surprised about because you would think he would be, um, trophy hunting, and there have been several
A Club
clubs that
World
have
Cup.
wanted to sign him for the Club World Cup. Um,
Mm,
even the Saudi clubs that are playing in the World Cup. Like
yeah.
I think it would have been if he doesn't sign like a short term loan deal. I think that would be the only way that he would leave his current club. Um, like he, if he was playing in the Club World Cup, I think you would have had a lot more draw just for the potential to be seeing another Messi versus Ronaldo situation.
Yeah.
I feel like in the US, you really only have, I mean, you obviously have the clubs, but if you're wanting to watch a certain player, it's either Messi or Ronaldo. Like you aren't saying, "Oh, I
Yeah.
want to go watch chance for Spain blocked." Um, you're not like, "Oh, I want to go see Olivier Giroud who's playing in the MLS." Like you weren't you weren't saying, "Oh, I'm gonna go to LA just to watch Giroud play." No, like yeah, he's won the world. Did he win the World Cup?
Yeah, he won the World Cup.
I
Yeah,
was gonna say,
part
was
of the
was he
squad.
a
Yeah.
part of that? I know that he's been like on and off with the France team along with a few others. So I wasn't sure if he was a part of that squad. But like, you're not saying, oh, I want to go watch him play. You might say, oh, I want to watch Holland play, but no, not really. You would rather see Messi or Ronaldo play or both, especially if they were playing each other. Um, but yeah,
And I thought he would have wanted that as well. I thought he would have just for because obviously it's with their respective ages, probably the last time you're going to see
in a
him
major trophy, yeah.
from a club's point of view, going head to head for a trophy. I thought he would have been all up for it, especially once he found out Inter Miami were being included, and obviously his team weren't. Yeah, I thought he would be away with it, but apparently not.
Yeah.
He ain't gonna make. There's no way. Messi obviously he'll probably retire before him, but Ronaldo's definitely not making the next Club World Cup in 4 years' time. No
hmm
way.
Honestly, with the way that he's played today, aside from his goal, he's a dumb fuck all. So
No, that's what I'm saying.
like
You can
you
tell.
would pretty much be saying, I will bring you to the World Cup next year, but know that
Mm,
you will be coming in as a substitute. You will not be starting. We might start you in some of the lesser games, but
mm,
I think Portugal are going to be completely fucked when he retires if they don't have
yeah,
someone that they can bring in um, as like a rotation because they have Joao Felix, but he's more of a midfielder than a striker. Oh, they have Diogo Jota, who can play as their striker, but the dude's 28, so it's not like he would be playing for much longer. Um, oh, you do have Ramos, who is 23. He plays for PSG.
mm,
Um, so I mean, you do have him, but if you aren't going to actually play him for like in these types of games and everything, um, I mean, you're going to be completely fucked. Like, for Ronaldo were to get injured during this game and like tear his ACL or something, he's not going to be back fully playing for the World Cup. Rosie's saying, VAR, Portugal pen, no VAR, no pen. I don't know where she's at, but I'm not seeing anything flash up on FootMob. Um, Joao Neves has had an absolutely horribly shocking game. He has a football rating of 4.9, um, and he left. He got subbed off for Portugal at halftime. Yamal has actually been surprisingly quiet. Um, he's taken two shots, but both of them were not very good. They were super far away. Nico Williams has been pretty quiet so far. Pedro Neto has been
Okay.
him and Nuno Mendes have been the best players for Portugal um, from a ratings perspective. Oh, sorry, Mendes has the better rating than Pedro Neto, but Neto still has a better rating than Ronaldo right now. Pedri and Zubamendi are uh, pretty much the same for the Spanish midfield. Spain have taken 9 shots, three of them on target.
That's about right. Spain, I mean, again, I don't know what it is. Because for me, Spain are superior to this Portugal team. They're not playing like it. They have these spells like they'll take their chance when it comes to it and all that. But as a whole, they're a bit meh from a midfield and defence point of view. Hence why it's 2-2. The team that you're going to in a final, obviously you both hate each other, but they give you they offer nothing in terms of a threat, and you've given them 2 goals still, effectively.
Oh, Nico Williams just wide. Uh, Chris saying Portugal since Portugal before Ronaldo they qualified for 3 World Cups and 3 Euros. Since then, 6 World Cups, 6 Euros, and 2 trophies, but not the all important World Cup. Um, all right, so they announced not too long ago that the winners of the Club World Cup will wear the Club World Cup winners badge for 4 years. Do you think that's a bit excessive?
Uh, Honestly, yeah, it's a bit.
Like just
It's
wear it
like
for a year, and then every time that there's a Club World Cup, which if it's only every 4 years, you get to wear it for the duration of that. Like
tournament
like
to you
like
out, yeah.
honestly, I would say just wear it for um 2 years. Wear it for the so if they won it this year, you wear it for the 25-26 season, and then the next World Cup would be in 2029, so then you would wear it in the 28-29 season. In the season leading up to the Club World Cup. That's how I would wear it, or just wear it during the Club World Cup if you so qualified for it. But you know what? So far for the women's side of the Club World Cup, which I don't think they're calling it the Club World Cup, Arsenal have qualified, and um, so has the New York, New Jersey, Gotham FC. Um, I can if it comes down to those two in the final, I can see Arsenal winning that game, even with Anne Katrin Berger in goal. But I feel like she's going to retire at the end of this NWSL season. So,
Champions semi-final. Do you know what happened to Pippa Monique? Honestly, no. I don't know if she's just busy work-wise, away from her channel and all that. I don't know. Yeah, because she used to be one of the front runners for women's content on the YouTube scene, and been very quiet recently, and that side of things anyway. So it did a brief work. I don't know. Oh, look, I can look into it, but yeah, don't know about that. But whilst we've been live in the last few minutes, there's been some sad news from the depending on how old you are, actually, might show your age if not. If you, yeah, former Premier League referee Joanna Rennie, who was basically the first ever referee, a person of colour, to referee a game in England, has sadly passed away at the age of 65. Sheffield United have confirmed it, and other clubs are now coming out of their messages of support to friends and family. We're just trying to find out what exactly, because 65 is no age, absolutely no age whatsoever. But yeah, I remember watching again. He's one of the good ones. He was actually one of the good refs when he was a ref back in the day. But yeah, obviously, Portugal actually friends and family at this time and all that. And yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's weird. Again, because make me feel old now. Bloody hell. But he was one of the. Unlike nowadays, he was one of the good ones in terms of referees.
Was that before they started breeding
well
them
before
up
he was
north?
oh yeah, basically he was a ref back in like the late 90s, early 2000s, basically. I think he retired. I think I can find out when he retired. One sec.
All right. Do you know the rough estimate of currency conversion between pounds and euros?
I think it's like normally it's around a tenner in it, give or take, our sterling.
Some dude is he because what's driving me nuts is he's not using the same currency in here. He said Arsenal have held talks with West Ham over Mohamed Kudus. The Ghanaian wants European football and could leave despite his £80 million release clause. Arsenal hope to strike a deal around 55 to 60 million euros. Like, would that not be fair? Like, paying 90% of the release clause essentially?
Basically, yeah. One sec. I can convert that now. One sec. 65 million euro. One sec.
Yeah, 60 to 80, 60 euros to 80 pounds. I'm too lazy to be looking it up on my laptop, but apparently Rosie knows the conversion. 80 million pounds to 60 million euros.
65 million euro exactly to English sterling, British pound, is 54,717,000 pounds.
Yeah, that's what I don't like.
Currently, as we speak at this very second.
Shit, what was it? Spain just made some substitutes. Mourinho is on. Hopefully, he can get a game winner, and then he's on for Fabian Ruiz, and then Pedri got taken off for Isco. Excuse me. Alex, Chelsea are going for everyone that breathes. Like, honestly. So back in October, let's see if I have it saved. The Soccer Donna, I'm gonna give them the credit. They released who they think is going to make it to the Champions League final on the women's side. Soccer Donna is a transfer news account focused on the women's side. Their parent company is Transfer Market. Let's see, where am I at here? This is May. So back in October, after the I think group stages were Yamal takes a shot from outside the box, right at the keeper. Um, it was either after the group stages were finished and they were moving on to the knockouts, or it was when everything got announced for the group stages. They released who is going to make the quarterfinal, who's the semifinal, quarterfinal, and who doesn't really have a chance. And they thought that back in October, the finalists were going to be Barcelona and Chelsea, which I find hilarious that they thought Chelsea were going to make the final over Leon, and maybe that was just because Sonia had moved clubs to Chelsea, and Chelsea could potentially be doing a whole lot better now. Leon are going to be without their star manager who has done great things for them. Where am I at? Here, I'm in November 11th. But what I am absolutely loving is that they had Arsenal finishing as a quarterfinalist. Um, I can't find it on their Oh, here it is. Their UCL predictions were Chelsea and Barcelona, semifinalists Manchester City and Lyon, quarterfinal Arsenal, Wolfsburg, Bayern, Real Madrid. Surprise possible Roma and Juve. No real chance. Pretty much everyone else. So
Yeah.
someone on X quoted it, and they were like, Arsenal needs to be going in that no real chance bucket. Um, pretty sure it was a Chelsea fan account, so just tell you all
Yeah,
it
well,
is.
sounds about
So
right.
yeah, that turned out wonderfully for them. But I mean, this was obviously before Renee took over, and we were dealing with a very questionable manager at that point in time. But um,
Uh,
I'm just a little bit salty that they had, Manchester City finishing higher than us. But yeah, looking at this, it's got to be more based off of the group stages because um, there's with how the draw happened, there was no possible way that we would have had a Chelsea Barcelona final. I feel like they were kind of queuing it up for a Leon Barca final again. Um,
mm, yeah, I've always think every time for the last couple of years I've been I watch the draws and all that. And you always see people in the chat going, "It's a set up Leon Barca final. They don't want anyone else in that final." Da, 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 da.
yeah,
Thank you,
but
but thank you.
no, it's I think from a revenue perspective for this year for the final, you could not have had um, a better final for the fans because there's this thing called the
Mm,
Barcelona fans where they pretty much just pick Arsenal and Barcelona as their clubs. They don't really favor
mm,
one over the other. Maybe they do, maybe they don't, but they support both clubs. And Barcelona and Arsenal have the largest fan base outside of their respective countries on the women's side. Um, so you would be having your two most popular clubs facing each other, where it could be some fans' worst
mm.
nightmare because they would have to choose one, or they would be like, "Well, it's a win-win situation for me anyway." Um,
Oh, yeah.
so yeah, you could bring in the revenue of one fan base over the other, or could have them both in, which is how it ended up happening, and you could potentially have just that many more fans wanting to come.
Mm. Oh, by the way, Gav, you reminded me because obviously, after Arsenal won the Champions League recently, Arsenal did some Champions merch and all that. Catherine's ordered some bits. I ordered some bits. I also got myself a scarf on the day itself. But prior, the day before, I ordered myself a hoodie and a cup, and they both arrived today. What do you think of this?
Oh, that is wonderful. Mine, I think is expected to come sometime this week.
Cannon facing the right way as well. The old school cannon facing the right way. And that's the back, by the way. Just to remind people going past that we are European champions, that Chelsea can't do it because Chelsea's Chelsea. And it's even on the front
Is
as
that the
well.
hoodie?
The hoodie, yeah, got myself the hoodie. Nice, actually. I tried it on earlier. Actually, nice, actually. Got the mugs downstairs. I was using it earlier.
Yep.
And my Scotch
I don't.
around here.
I don't have a full on Zubamendi driving, passes it to Isco. Isco. Ooh. Oh, what a save. So my hoodie and my Mariona jersey, they have made it to JFK. They are then going. The U.S. Postal Service has to get their label on it. So if it's in New York right now, Postal Service doesn't work on Sunday, so probably start
Same,
processing
yeah.
it tomorrow. New York to here.
Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah, I would say Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah.
We got 2 players down injured, one for each team after a corner kick. Looks like heads clashing, maybe. Head to shoulder. Ooh, I think head to shoulder, but then knee of his own player went to his head.
Interesting. Not yet, Gavin. Time. All in good time, my friend. All in good time. This is the thing. We won't unify because we don't want to drop down to them standards of Conference League. So we won't have to. We won't get the chance to unify all the European titles and all that. Don't worry. But when there will be a time when we actually unify the men's Champions League and the women's Champions League before you do.
Oh,
just saying.
Holy shit. Okay, so there's about to be a chance on goal. He's offsides, but they haven't called it offsides yet. He chips the keeper, and because the whistle hadn't been blown yet, I thought it was a whole lot closer. I was gonna say it's gonna be a great goal line save now. He's like 3 feet from the line, but still, from the angle in which they provide us, it looks like it was a whole lot closer before they called it offsides. But evening, Mr. Tom.
Hi, Tom. How you doing? As I say, I hope you're getting better and the road recovery is improving.
Mr. Tom, I think you might have missed it earlier, but so far the bookies in America have Leeds winning the Premier League at the 3rd best rate, which puts them. They have from an odds perspective, they have the same chance of winning it as Fulham. And then there's Wolves and Brentford. I think were the 2 that were below them, and then the 2 that just got promoted with Leeds are Sunderland and Burnley are the least likely to be winning the title. But Leeds are not rock bottom here with the American bookies for potentially winning the Premier League. Just your fun fact of the day.
What your thoughts on Gav's comment there? He's convinced that Chelsea are going to come back next season and win the Women's Champions League next season.
Who the fuck are you on, man?
I don't think you will.
You're qualified. You're likely to be topping your group again, depending. I think it's. I
think it's the league phase, isn't it?
I'm not sure.
Phase this year.
But they still won't be able to play us, and they would probably be implementing the same rules in which they are implementing again this year for the men's side. So like no pot 1 opponents or no. Wait. Would Chelsea be relegated to pot 2?
Potentially, we are European champions.
So you would have Barcelona, you would have Lyon,
and Arsenal
Bayern
top.
and Arsenal, I think, in pot one.
Basically, yeah, because we are European champions.
We would
We would
automatically
precede
get first.
our domestic
Yeah.
champions. Yeah.
I think let's see, Women's Association's UEFA rankings. They might. Oh no, so England are now with the club coefficients updated. Um, or sorry, the country coefficients updated. I think England. All right, so England started the 23-24 season in fourth. You had France, Germany, Spain,
Tough.
England. Despite Spain winning it in the 23-24. Oh wait, no, they won. They won it. Oh wait, yeah, they won it in the 23-24 season. For the 24-25 season, they have this shit updated now. England are now sitting at the top. England, France, Spain, Germany. So
Okay.
it might be because England are now um, from a coefficient ranking, they are now number one. I think it would be Arsenal, Barcelona, Chelsea, um, Leon.
Leon. Yeah.
Um, but
Either way,
I
they're not
think the
winning the
big
championship.
helper in that, um, aside I mean, aside from us winning it, um, but we had three teams make it out of the group stages,
Yeah.
where Germany had zero. Oh no, sorry, Germany had one.
We have
Yeah,
Bayern.
Germany
Yeah.
had one, but
They had
then I don't remember.
Wolfsburg as well.
Was it Chelsea and City to start off with, or were they?
So I think now.
Yeah, they played each other in the quarters. The winner would take on Barcelona.
Yeah.
The winner of that would make it
Yeah.
to the final, which was Barcelona. So,
Cristiano's bailed out.
yeah,
By the way, for anyone.
yeah. So I think pot one would be two English teams, a French and a Spanish. Uh,
It'll be
Barcelona
interesting either way.
is
Plus,
still top of the club coefficients. Barcelona, Leon, Chelsea because of their 20 their 2021 season where Arsenal were not in it. Arsenal are sitting in seventh right now. Yeah, so Arsenal
plus,
have nothing for 20 and 21 season, and then um, they only got two coefficient points in the 23-24 season, which was they made it out of the first round, but not the second round of rankings and all that qualification. Sorry.
also, here's another thing. We could be the first ever women's world champions come February. Just saying. Something you can't claim to, maybe. That'll hurt you even more.
Yeah, the only way that
That'd be a
Chelsea
gut.
could ever be in the Club World Cup.
Is to win the
Yeah.
Champions League in 4 years' time, basically.
This game is definitely going to extra time. Oh shit, dude! Why'd you give a foul with? They're saying just outside the box, like it was, a foot away from the box. No, he's like a full meter and a half. There you go. I'll use the metric system there. They're saying just outside the box. No, just outside the box is more than a meter and a half away from the box. Meter and a half. 2 minutes of added time. Probably going to end up going to like 2.5 because they're taking their sweet ass time getting this free kick set up. So look at that, you got the youngin.
Look who joined us. Yeah. Oh bloody hell! And you also kamikaze yourself off the chair, apparently.
Bruno
What are
to
you
take
doing?
the free kick. Punched
Oh.
out. Goal kick.
Oh, ow, my chest. Right, relax. Did not need that in my chest. Ow. We could be the first men's world championship. Well, for you to win the men's world cup, you need a fucking miracle.
Yeah, do you really think you have a chance?
Mate, you're going up against PSG potentially at some point, Real Madrid. Yeah, come on, be realistic here.
I don't know.
We're being realistic. You're just taking
I don't know.
piss.
If they end up facing Real Madrid or PSG, it would be like a trial run for the Champions League. But I don't know. I still think it's absolutely hilarious that you and all the other Chelsea fans were celebrating the Conference League win like it was the best thing ever. But you got to be performing poorly enough to actually be in that league. But yeah, I'll give it to you. You have to be performing well enough to be competing in Europe, but you were competing poor enough that you could not even make it into the Champions League proper, and you just scraped by on the final game of the season this year.
Exactly. He's going, well, the old format we won it. Yeah, that's the old format. This is a whole new format. We've got good teams basically. This ain't the old format where it's literally just you against
Real Betis.
a few hand.
The point of the Conference League was to give teams that aren't spending $1 billion a year on transfers the ability to win some money to help them sign a slightly better player than what they would have signed.
By the way, full-time whistle's gone. It's now going, I think, extra time now?
Yeah, extra time.
Yeah. That's going to be an interesting one.
Legal documentation has been exchanged and agreements are in place for the transfer of Martin Zubimendi to Arsenal pending a medical. So mind you, this was tweeted out from Hand of Arsenal. The source is Hand of Arsenal and Friends. So you tweet something out and say that you are the source. I'm trying to figure out what I want for dinner today.
Or was it that? What channel was it? Surprisingly, a gal was on it. I can't remember. I don't know if it was a girl's channel or not. Oi. But had someone on there. They're going, "Oh, my mate bumped into Andre Berta in London the other day, and they had a bit of chit chat and about the striker situation." He said, "I want Gorkarez," and he smiled at me and gave me a fist pump and said, "Good choice" and all that. Like, and that means it's going to happen. Like, oh, come on. And then you woke up.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. Mark Goldbridge, he has some great reactions to United. I'll give him that. But he's like, from what I've just seen, I'd be genuinely shocked if United don't sign Gokares. You really think?
Also says it's embarrassing.
Yeah, you really think that United cannot? So Gokares, he's kind of been like, well, if I don't want to play in Europe, I'll sign for United. But if I want to play in Europe, I'll sign for Arsenal or maybe stay at Sporting. So like, I don't know. It would probably just come down to a money issue, but United have none. Like, so I saw that tweet, and then that was immediately followed up with, in all caps, posted 2 hours ago. Just a reminder to everyone that Kim Little has won the Champions League.
Oh dear. But I was having this discussion with a few Tottenham fans, or one of them today. Basically, how many turned up for your trophy lift and all that? And someone put 10k, and he's like, "Oh, 10k." I was like, "Mate," because before I finished off the reply, I went onto YouTube, checked the numbers. Do you know that Arsenal women's trophy lift across multiple channels got more numbers than Tottenham's trophy lift on their own channel?
That's hilarious.
I know. You go back and like, you're relying on the women's game. Well, we are one umbrella. We are one club. Of course, we're going to hype that up and put you in your place. And it's just a bit hurt that you're clearly one of them people, knuckle draggers, proper knuckle draggers, that has to put down women's football, not your cup of tea, which might not be a cup of tea, but you have to put it down. Just because our women's team's more relevant in your men's team and the team's better than what you do.
Arsenal is always going to be more relevant than Spurs. Be honest.
Our youth team's more relevant than Spurs.
I just saw something that Carlos Alcaraz has won the same number of major titles at his age that Rafa Nadal did when he was Alvarez's age.
Man.
Which is insane. It was his fifth. It was Alcaraz's fifth major title.
Yeah.
He's like 23.
No, I did check back when it was still going. He had to fight back from two. He was 2 sets down at one point. He's fought back. He had to take it off the 4 or 5 sets.
All right. He was not only 2 sets down. Skinner was 1 game away from securing it. It was 2 sets down. Current game was like 5-2 or 5-3, and Skinner was at. Game set match. The match was at 5-3, and the game was at 40 love. So Skinner was literally one rally away from winning it, and Alcaraz won that set. Then went on. It went to a I think it was a 7-5, and then it was like 6-4. I think was set 4, and then the final set had to go to the 7th. It was a 7-6 win, and if it is the final set of the match, then the rally count on that one is first to 10, win by 2, and Alcaraz had gone up 7-0, and then Skinner fought back. I think he got 2, but Alcaraz won the 7th one. I think it was 10-2 or 10-3. So it was insane. Spain bringing on some more subs. Along with them.
I think, bloody, in terms of Alcaraz, I think he's going to be will you stop? He's going to be the main face of the men's tennis going for the next decade or so. He's just phenomenal.
Yeah.
Absolute. From nowhere, I've got to be fair to him. He's only won Wimbledon, hasn't he, as well? I think he has, anyway.
This is. Oh wait, no, never mind. That's the coach. Oh, the women's coach. I'm still baffled by Spurs and their management sacking.
Well, it's the fact that they're going. They've obviously sacked him, which is I get it because of the 22 league defeats and all that. Yeah, they won a trophy and all that Champions League football, but the league form was questionable. Let's be honest. But it's the fact they're going to Brentford for Thomas Frank is like they're not even upgrading in terms of with all due respect to Thomas Frank, they're not going for the big gun names anymore. They're going for managers that are known but not world class known. You're expecting them to come from Brentford and put off a miracle at Tottenham. Again, I said to some brother yesterday on the way home, we're sat here either next year or in the next 18 months going, well, it didn't work out with Thomas Frank. He's being sacked. His career's now in the bin basically. Brentford got relegated because of it as well. Oh, and who's Sam Allardyce? Is Sam Allardyce coming out with for Tottenham? It's getting to that point where it's like what they're not even attracting the best managers in the world. We're one of the biggest club in the world and all this, but you're not even attracting the biggest managers in the world who want to come to you. And players are going to realise, look at this now and go, really, we've gone from this guy to some of the same level. Basically, with all due respect, he's a good man. He's done what he's done at Brentford has been good and great, whatever. But you're expecting a new face to come in, a new pair of eyes to come in and do something different to what every other manager's failed to do under the same regime, basically. It ain't. I think Frank's being stupid here. I think he's he's jumping to the wrong club. Yeah, other managers have just gone like Big Hand went from Tottenham, Celtic to Tottenham. They're just going from what I want Premier League. I want to be in Premier League and all that. It backfired eventually. He got showing up for what he is. This screams Nuno Espirito again, where it's going to you have that initial bounce at the start of the season, and then the next thing you know, we're going to see what we've seen this year. It's going and it's going to be like, oh, get him out. We're going to have expressions on every platform going, get Thomas Frank out. He's a fraud. And it's laughable from my point of view. Don't get me wrong, but still, you can't be a big club if you're sacking the manager every 18 months.
Yeah.
Big clubs don't operate like that. But don't worry, guys. They got Beyonce every 2 years doing tours. It's okay. That'll cover everything. When at a stadium to go karting and all that, Mario Kart. That's all good.
I'm not sure how I'm feeling about this first half of extra time. Kinda almost right now I'm feeling like let's just go for penalties.
Yeah. Tom says, in my opinion, Big Ange was sacked because he was, dare I say it, too honest about admitting. Obviously, this is obviously going back to his interview after winning the Conference League, Europa League on the night in Bilbao. We, to the world, admitted that in January they basically just beamed off the season domestically and put all focus in Europe, basically. And yeah, I don't think that would have gone down well. The fact he had the audacity to come back the next day or whatever it was, did their parade and went, season 2 is always better than season 3. And then literally like 24 hours later was backtracking in the sense of, well, they always kill off the main character sometimes, so you never know. I might be here, I might not be here. It's like, fucking hell. The thing is, Ange, where does he go now? Does he go back? Does he go back home, or did he go back to Scotland and try when the Celtic job comes back up again in the next year or so? What does he do now to rebuild himself and
Cucurella, over the bar.
Not Alex has Frank Nunes, but not officially. It's not done and dusted. But going by what the big media outlets are saying, that he wants the Tottenham job, that he's told Brentford hierarchy.
Why the fuck would he want to go there?
No idea. But I think with Brent, this could be a big something now for Brentford even more, in a sense of they now have to, if he does go, get an adequate replacement in or an improvement, because if they don't, that could open up a spot for like your Leeds, Burnley, or Sunderland to stay up now, and for them to go down the opposite way. Who are you calling laid out? Come on. You're tired, aren't you? You've already been up and said ow, ow, hello to people. Chelsea spend big money every window all the time and still sack managers all the time. The men's team, yeah. But under their old regime, it worked. This new regime won't work.
Chelsea spent big money on both sides, but they only sack managers on the men's side. Which it actually could be interesting. I feel like if Portugal on the attack, he dives, but no call. Oh, shit's about to... Oh, fight! We're at, like, hockey fight now. Someone just got their throat grabbed. Let me get back to my point before shit started kicking off. Chelsea lucked out with Emma Hayes being as good as she was. Sonia, I think, has high
Yeah.
expectations, and I think if she does anything less than a treble this coming season, her contract is going to be on the line. If she wins one trophy of 4 available, I feel like Chelsea's going to get rid of her.
What are you doing? Again, are you doing this again? But yeah, what was it? With,
Yeah, Nuno Mendes died
with
to try and get the penalty.
stop.
Oh,
What
maybe.
you
Oh, yeah, no.
doing?
His T-shirt or his jersey gets grabbed, but yeah, that's a dive simulation. But then you have the fight
What's he
breaking out afterwards,
doing?
and that's what I want to see. They're checking it for a potential red card. I hope it's on the after effects of the fight.
Hmm.
It's definitely not the call in the
Yeah.
box.
Obviously, Tom, yeah, go and get some sleep, have a good rest and all that. Chat to you tomorrow and all that. Have a good catch up later. And thanks for popping in tonight. Appreciate it. But yeah, with the men's team, it's not going to work with this regime because, like I say,
Mendes gets
they,
pushed. He
we
falls
should
to
have
the floor.
they scraped into the top 4 by the skin of their top 5, whatever, by the skin of their teeth. They're going to get. If they don't make the improvements where they need to be improved, they're going to be in trouble. They're going to get found out massively. They're getting no pre-season this summer because of the Club
Chelsea?
World Cup. Chelsea, because the Club World, they go deep in the Club World Cup with Man City. Where's the pre-season coming from? Because when the tournament ends, pre-season's already halfway through by that point. So they get no real pre-season. There's no respite for the players because of international football as well. So no respite for the players. Them and Man City are absolutely fucked potentially if they both go deep in this tournament in the next month. And that's where, in terms of Chelsea, that's where their squad and Enzo's going to be found out. And Enzo could be gone by Christmas because of it. But they'll just go and do what Tottenham have done: sack him and bring in another potentially
but
okay
with Chelsea,
manager.
who have like 60 players on their books, like yeah, they loan out a shit ton of them because they can't have them all on their like officially fully on their books for the entire season. But you would think that they would be able to actually do something with the so-called squad depth that they have, and they've been building and buying.
Yeah, Natalie Sawyer said on Talksport it's pretty much done deal. She's a Brentford fan. Yeah, she's a Brentford fan and connections to the cover. Fair enough. Don't get it, but still. As I say, the next, give it a year to 18 months, he'll be out of a job. So,
All right, question for you: do you believe or do you agree with Ronaldo's statement of in order to win a Ballon d'Or, you need to have won the Champions League? Because honestly, aside from the Champions League or failing to get to the final, I think between Rafinha and Yamal, those would be like your top 2 contenders, just based off of what they're club.
yeah.
And I mean, Rafinha was voted Player of the Season, but then Yamal has all the Spanish accolades to go with all that he won with Barca, but like from a statistics wise, Rafinha did have the better season. Ooh, Portugal with the chance there. I think Rafinha's problem is Brazil have pretty much been slacking off um, from past 5-8 years. Like they're good and they're historically good, but they aren't where you know World Cup contenders or World Cup finalist contenders. Um, but Do you agree with that statement of a Champions League winner should be the one that is winning the Ballon d'Or?
Wait one sec. Going back to your question, I personally, not really. It helps, but not. I don't think it should be solely down to winning the Champions League. It should be the overall. It should be a player's overall performance over the calendar year for club and country, and what they're doing on the pitch. But it has been the thing of the last 15 or so
I mean, even
years.
even for the women's side
Especially,
too.
yeah,
They said I honestly think it might be coming down to how Spain and England perform in the Euros because they were like, oh, based off of the 6 or 7 winners that they've had, like all of them have won the Golden Boot. Um, so like that would put Alessia Russo as the front runner. But then you go like Champions League and the goals and assists and the overall performances, and you add on were they a Champions League winner, yes or no, then you would be tipping the hat to Mariona. Um, or they would be looking at their overall club performances and go um, with a Barcelona player.
so I've just seen this in a little mini. I say mini chats. I've in huge group chats, to be honest, that being put together. Breaking from Fabrizio Romano, Jack Grealish will leave Man City this summer. Everton are interested and are ready to negotiate with Man City at Fabrizio Romano. Bloody hell.
Can Everton
That's
afford
a
him
drop
though?
off. Probably not. It'd probably have to be a loan with Man City having to subsidise the wages massively. And it depends on the owners. Again, it depends on because they've got new owners, Everton, but also it depends on their own FFP situation. What are you doing? You hiccups, did you?
What has also come out in the past 30-ish minutes? Robert Lewandowski is not going to play for Poland until the current head coach leaves or gets booted.
Bloody hell. By the way, it's half time in the final here. Still 2-2. Nothing's really happened in the first half, though, has it? Like you said at the start of the extra time, there's like they're both sort of playing out for
Yeah,
penalties
I
here.
mean the most exciting part was the fight, and then I think
Yeah,
there were like only 2 shots on target in the second half. Yamal's coming off um, for the second.
okay.
Um,
Okay. It's a huge thing for Portugal, basically, if you ask me. Champions 25 says Caldente deserves she says yours, but then goes on to say Ballon d'Or.
probably does.
I mean, that goes back to my thing of not just because the Champions League, but for the whole year of this we've just had. She's come to Arsenal, scored 20, just shy of 20 goals in all comps for Arsenal, but also for her country. She's been a pivotal player for Spain basically in the last 12 months as well. So it all comes together. It just so happens that she's part of a team that won the Champions League.
Yeah, I think if I mean if England win it, but I personally I don't see Alessia not starting um, in the games. Um, but if I think if England win it again, I would give a
Then you go,
shout to Leah Williamson. You
yeah,
don't really see. I think the highest that a non-forward placed. Well, I mean, yeah, you have from the back line. Um, defender and keepers, Mary Earps finished the highest in the rankings. I
Mm.
think she finished third in the year that Aitana won her first one.
Yeah.
That was the highest that someone other than a midfielder or a forward placed. But the this season, the way in which Leah played, it was, yeah, the first part of the season was a little bit shaky because, I mean, she was essentially still getting back to 100% full post ACL fitness. That looks like an awesome sweatshirt you have on, sir. Um,
Thank you.
um, but I think the way that she has helped hold the back line together and the performance of a fucking lifetime that she had in the Champions League
Mm.
final. The it, yeah,
No, literally. I mean,
it, sh I think the award you're always you're always going to be favoring the goal scorers or the playmakers, the midfielders and the forwards. You're always going to be praising them more for having a more complete season because their goals helped win games. But I don't know about you if you've heard it a lot, but we were told a lot
mm,
in the American sports system, defense wins games.
mm, wins your titles. Yeah.
When your defense is not playing, like we saw this in the Super Bowl this past year.
Mm,
The Chiefs defense was not there. They were not turned on at 100%, but the Eagles defense was turned on. And yes, their offense helped score them their points. But their defense shut out the Chiefs, I think for like 3 quarters, essentially. Like the
yeah.
defense won that game, and oh my, Spain with the shot from distance. Um, that I I would have to go back and look at the stats, but Leah Williams. I know that Leah had the most blocks in the game, up there with the most clearances. Um,
Mm,
if the Netherlands make it to the final, if the Netherlands win, and Daphne has been in goal the entire time, and like if she puts in, you know, clean sheet after clean sheet, her performance that she had. I
mm,
mean, her performance for the club. You go clean sheets over games played. She has a higher clean sheet percentage. A She's conceded the least amount of goals. Um, she's done great for her country so far in this calendar year. That would be another great shout. I mean,
mm.
can you imagine if you know Leah won it, or like, yeah, it would be great if Alessia won it. I think they always I think Yamal had said, you know prior to the Spain versus France game, like, the winner of the Ballon d'Or is going to be playing in that game. Whoever wins that is really going to end up being the winner. And I think he was like
Mm.
alluding to maybe Dembele, in himself, but Spain cross in blocked cleared. Um, it's going to be an interesting Euros campaign. I think it's really all going to be depending on how the teams show up. I mean, England, I think, are going to have
Mm.
a lot more a lot more of a struggle. I think because Mary Earps is not going to be in goal, so you're pretty much going to be playing with a new keeper in the net that you haven't really been playing with. Millie Bright's not going to be playing. Um, yeah,
Fran Kirby's retired as
yeah,
well.
Fran Kirby. Um, so I think it's going to be a little bit more of a struggle for England. Not that they wouldn't be able
Yeah.
to do it, but Spain,
Well, first two games.
like you would really be looking at Spain and England probably as your finalists. I think they are the two most likely to win it right now. So, I mean, it would all depend, I think, on the bracket view, but um, Spain have, I think, 8 of their starting 11, soon to be 9 because Leia Alexandri's um, going from City to Barcelona on free transfer, but she was already at Barcelona. Like you have 8 or 9 of your starting 11 playing together at club level versus England, who's probably what 4 teams.
But I'd say 5 teams. You've got Chelsea, you've got Arsenal in there, you've got a couple of United in there. I think Hampson there, so that's
You
City
have
as well.
Bayern as well. If Georgia's starting,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah, that's it. Yeah,
um, so
a couple of Tottenham players have like 5
yeah,
or 6
so
actually. Think
you,
about it. We've got
I
a
mean,
couple.
and like look at like Portugal as well, or Switzerland, or the Netherlands. Like this is where I think that, I mean, yeah, it wouldn't be fair, but put some fucking restrictions on club level. Like you can't have more than
Mm,
6 of your starting players be from the same national team. Which, yeah, you could then work around that and say, oh, all right, yeah, my entire bench is made up of one national team, but or like put it on at the international level, saying of your starting 11, no more than 6 can be playing together at the club level, like because
mm.
I think that's where Spain had the advantage going into the World Cup final. That's where I think they have just that little bit more. I mean, the U.S. national team, I think from their starters, they got like seven different club teams, if
Yeah,
not 9. I mean, depending on the starting 11, like there isn't one club team that is making up over 70% of your starting 11. I think England of what 5 years ago it was like 6 players from City or something. Like Man City
yeah.
had like 8 England internationals, but then Georgia left Kira and Lucy left. Ellen White ended up retiring, but she retired at City. I mean, you had Steph. I mean, um, yeah,
No, we had, from our point of view, we had Leah, Beth, Lotta,
Chloe. Or are you talking about?
Chloe
Are
now.
you talking about like World Cup, last Euros?
That was last Euros. Talking about last Euros, we had, in terms of an Arsenal representative, we have obviously Leah's our captain. Beth was in the form of her ACL. Lotta was a squad player. Never got used. I'm trying to think else we had down
Um,
that team.
Alessia, wasn't she signed by then or no? She signed after the Euros.
No, she was at United. She signed a year later for us.
Uh,
Yeah. But no, and obviously it shows now. Obviously, what five of the England squad players are from Arsenal. In terms of, obviously, I know Michelle was on loan this season at Brighton, but she's
Still, yeah.
her parent club is Arsenal. She's coming back as an Arsenal player.
I mean, yeah, we have the captain.
It's a really weird
We
one.
have Beth. I think it's going to be interesting to see what Serena's going to be doing between Chloe and Beth, and then you have the Laurens
Just
on the left side. Like I think in the last game, um, or not no not the Spain game, in the Portugal game, you need to be
so
playing
yeah.
Beth and Chloe together.
So in terms of our squad, we've got obviously Hannah Hampton from Man City,
Chelsea.
Kira Keating from Chelsea, and you got Kira Keating Man City. Sorry, you got because of Mary Earps not retiring. You got Morehouse as well. Morehouse is that Tottenham? Morehouse, remind me.
What's her first? Oh shit! No, I don't want that. Oh,
Anna
Oh,
Morehouse.
and oh, she plays for Orlando
She's
Pride.
basically
She's 30.
okay.
She's played 11 matches so far, kept 4 clean sheets.
So we've got 3 clubs there already, just goalkeepers. And in terms of our defensive players, we've got Leah Lotta from the Arsenal side of things. You've got from Chelsea, you've got Jess Carter,
Jess
Lucy
Carter plays for
Bronze.
Gotham. They have her marked wrong. And
She used to play for Chelsea, though. She used to play for
yeah,
Chelsea. She did
so
leave, yeah, sorry.
I'm trying to count here. All right, so you have 3 clubs for the keepers. You have Arsenal thrown in there for the defenders. You have Gotham thrown in there for the defenders. Charles is
You've
Chelsea.
got Chelsea there as well. So Esme Morgan, Man United for Letitia as well. And Charles as our defenders. Oh, Alex Greenwood as well, sorry.
Did
Alex
we already count
Greenwood.
City? Oh
So we've
yeah,
got,
Kiara Keating.
so yeah,
You've got
you've got
7 different
we've
clubs
already
right
got City,
now,
so yeah,
just between the keepers and the defenders.
already. And then we've got Jess Park,
City,
Grace Clinton,
United.
Georgia Stanway, Ella Toon, Kira Walsh.
So now you're at 8.
Yeah. And from our forwards, we've got Lauren James, Chelsea, Beaver Jones, Chelsea, Russo, Arsenal, Michelle, Arsenal, Beth, Arsenal, Chloe Kelly, as it stands, Arsenal, and Lauren Hemp, Man
So you have
City.
8 clubs,
And
8
that's our
clubs
squad.
being represented.
Yeah.
Let me look up these guys. And then for where's their squad list? Or they don't have this listed out. Let me translate this. And then Spain is pretty much Barcelona. Probably 2 from Real Madrid, 2 or 3 from Real Madrid. Yeah, you've got Jenny Hermoso, probably likely Jenny Hermoso, who plays in the Mexican league.
And Caldente
Yeah,
for
I
Arsenal.
mean, from a starter's perspective, you're looking at like 3 clubs.
Yeah.
For England, you'd have Chelsea, Arsenal, City.
Bit of United
Yeah,
in
you'd
there
probably.
as well.
I think it would depend.
It depends on the midfield,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
You'd have Bayern, so that puts you at 4. Still, you'd probably still have an Arsenal, Chelsea, City front 3, but it would be 1 from each. You wouldn't be having. It's like I feel like the likely starting front 3 would be right now probably Beth and Lauren Hemp on the wings, and then Alessia up top.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I feel like Serena would be swapping out Beth for Chloe. So that's still probably just an Arsenal to Arsenal swap. I think one thing that I kind of would want to see that we saw a little bit before Leah tore her ACL, I would want to see it at both club and country. I would love to see Leah push forward into a CDM. I feel like she already kind of floats in that space, but she does a lot more tracking back, being a center back. But push her forward to a CDM, which I saw something absolutely hilarious today. It was maybe it was yesterday. It was 7 years ago today. Leah Williamson made her England debut, and she was coming on for Kira Walsh. And when the announcers were listing her off, the TV commentators, they were what's the breakdown? U23, U20, U18, U15, captain was how they listed it all. So she went from Leah worked her ass off, and she was captain from pretty much the time in which she was in the youth England squads to then 4 years ago. She's
I think when Serena came in, Serena saw Leah as a CDM. She gave him as number 8 as well. So she was seen as a CDM as far as Serena was concerned. But in since the Euros, Serena sort of backtracked and basically played her in a club position of a centre back.
Well, I think they kind of had to as well.
Just based on form and
Yeah, I mean,
fairness.
you really only had Alex Greenwood and Millie Bright. Could
yeah, because
because
Alex Greenwood hadn't hit the
I mean,
nets yet,
you would also have Lotta thrown in there, but would Serena want to take her chance on at what a then 23-year-old, 24-year-old? We're off to penalties now.
Yeah, just saying.
So
pretty much both teams
so
played,
like if Serena was playing playing at experience, she would have been playing Leah, Millie, and Alex. There you go.
Yeah, I found it.
Champions 25 saying that they like Williamson and Catley and that they're so good on the ball. And I think this year they have been great. I think had Codina been match fit, I think that would have been a good center back pairing for Leah.
Yeah.
Or having Lotta play as well. But Amanda was out on maternity leave. Lotta was injured. Leia was injured, and Steph had to push past her bounds. She is a natural left back. I think I had said it on a few watch-alongs that Amanda is back from maternity leave and she's gotten some match minutes. Like put her back as center back. Could push McCabe out and give her some rest, and push Catley out to her natural left back position. But I mean, Catley and Williamson being that center back pairing and strengthening that relationship even more. I mean, what they did during the final was just dynamic. It shows that Steph was able to push herself that much more to be a center back rather than a left back. So I think this window could be a little bit crucial from a transfer wise of bringing in an experienced center back that can also stay on for 2 years, 3 years. And hello, Gary and Stefan.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it would be nice to see Leah get pushed up into that CDM role.
Especially with you got Kim Little going into the final year, probably of her career, to be honest.
Oh.
I doubt after this season coming, she'll move for another year. I think this is probably her last year going into now, Kim Little. So probably the best time to sort of start bleeding if you're going to do that, into that position basically for club and country.
Yeah, I think they've been trying. I think Jonas had tried to do it, last year. 2 years ago, with the signings that he made of bringing in Kyra to kind of be that Kim Little replacement. I think Leah Valti is a good shout to be covering that Kim spot, but she's 31 now. I mean, she has said, with Switzerland hosting the Euros, and her being the captain, she's gotten a lot more, eyes on camera action, interviews and everything, and she said that I would have to try and find it, but I think she said that she's got like a good 3 years left in her. She would love to play in another World Cup, but kind of will do what's best for herself at any given time. But so you think about that, she's got like 3 more years since she's the CDM. Kyra would logically be the next, I guess, shout for that. I mean, it's going to be an interesting, I think, next few years with those that are
Well, it's also
kind of aging out. Yeah,
sorry from an England point of view, it's no coincidence that, as I say, when Serena came along, Leah was playing
yeah,
CDM. As far as it's since he's had to revert back into centre back, England consistently aren't as strong as we were. Even even when you account for Leah being out for ACL, when she's been available for selection as a centre back, we're not from midfield point of view solid enough to do what Serena wants to do. Basically, what we were doing
yeah,
prior. Portugal taking the first penalty,
yeah.
by the way,
Ramos converts
from
it.
my end anyway.
Um, I think. I mean, Leah had, if I'm remembering interviews correctly, like Leah had gone through the Arsenal system as a CDM, and then they were in a
Mm.
center back shortage, and she kind of learned on the fly to play in that position more than anything. But Spain equalized at 1-1. Ooh, Mourinho was the first one to take it. He buries that. Keeper goes the wrong way. So yeah, I forgot what I was saying.
Oh, Mikel, come on, Mikel, come on.
Vitinha is taking the second penalty from Portugal.
Great pen from
Mhm.
Moreno. Great pen.
I hate to say this, but if Rayo was in goal for these penalties, I think I think Spain would have been a little bit fucked, just based off of his recent penalty form.
Yeah,
On
the
the
dive
I'm
through the
diving
floor.
as they're doing their run up. Let's see. Oh, Portugal have now gotten away with two very near misses, just beyond the boot and just beyond the fingertips.
I've got to say, the first 90, obviously, when the goal was there, like the game was good, and the second went 2-2. The game just died out for the rest of the match. We got lucky.
Oh, and again, the keeper goes the wrong way. Oh, I don't know if you saw the Three Lions lineup at all before you were enjoying yourself yesterday, but Henderson had started.
Oh, for God's
Yeah.
sake!
Um,
What and what was the reason? I'd love to know.
I don't know. I can't give you that answer, but
Oh, I thought there was going to be like some sort of reason behind
I
it.
yeah
Like,
I would have to look at, but Bruno is taking his penalty. He is the third Portuguese to take it. Keeper goes the wrong way. Um, so
I got it
England's
right.
starting lineup yesterday was Pickford in goal, and then Reece James at left back, Dan Burn, Ezri Konsa, and then Curtis Jones. And then you had Henderson, um, kind of playing in that lone CDM role. And then you had Medweke, Palmer, Bellingham, and Morgan Rogers, and then Harry Kane up top.
I'm getting concerned with Touch already in terms of squad selection is very Chelsea biased, like heavy Chelsea orientated there.
Oh, keeper
And
goes the same way, but he got his hand on it, but Isco's pen was too powerful.
as I was saying, no, I'm very concerned with Touch. Is very Chelsea heavy orientated in. Like the fact he's playing a former player of his at left back when he's got an adequate left back available for selection. He's picked him for selection in Miles Lewis Skelly. You go, no.
I think I almost
I'm
feel
gonna
like
put my
he's
best friend there.
wanting to play Miles Lewis Skelly more as the midfielder role rather than the left back role. But he should know that he can play both. And I think if you're limited on squad selection, having a player that can play more than one role, that fourth penalty from Portugal, it's buried. Keeper has gone the right way 3 of the 4 times. But I think Reece James can get dropped. Like he's played what, like maybe 5 full game minutes for Chelsea this season. Like, what was the point of him being called up? Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. I'm very concerned now that Tuchel's going back and heavy relying on his days with Chelsea.
Saved.
For
It is now 4-3 after 4 to Portugal.
Spain missed.
No, he got saved. Yeah.
Oh my days! Fucking Ronaldo's gonna shit out his way to another fucking trophy. Fucking hell! Oh, for God's sake!
Neves to take. He's missed most of them, is what they just said. He's taken a lot, but missed most of them.
That's Morata as well, like the captain.
Oh yeah, it's buried 5-4 or 5-3 on pens. Keeper goes the wrong way, bottom corner.
Oh, what is going on? One sec.
Ronaldo was like crying and praying like he just lost, not that he just won. All right, this is the one thing that I will say about Bruno Fernandes. He does the nice, polite thing, and I think he did it after United beat Arsenal on penalties. Bruno went around and like saying, "Hey, good game" to each of the players that he just beat, where the rest of the team is going to go celebrate in front of their fans or in front of other players.
Yeah.
All right. Not to put anything less on this trophy win for Portugal, but is there a point behind this Nations League trophy? Like, is it for anything? Like,
I don't think.
Like if you were, I feel like this would be more of like you want the Euros trophy, you want the World Cup, and then you want your, the domestic titles for club in the Champions League, like those. I mean, I feel like this is kind of like the same thing on the women's side. Like, what is the fucking point of this? Other than, I mean, if you want teams to be ready for like Champions League, or not, sorry, if you want them to be ready for World Cup, then you would be wanting them to play teams from around the world, not just Europe. Like, is this for some sort of qualifier? Like, this isn't going to put them anywhere?
No, it's just don't think so. I don't think it does. No, not for the men's side of things. I know the women, obviously, they get opportunities to qualify for Olympics and spots at the Euros or expect all that jazz. But for the men, I don't think there is now. I think there initially was that the winner would get an automatic spot for the upcoming international tournament, be it Euros or World Cup. I think that's gone now, so it's a trophy. But for me, it's just, I've never got on board of the Nations League. It's just glorified friendlies with a trophy. It's effectively the Conference League.
All right, that's what I thought. It's just fuck all trophy. Probably get some prize pot thrown in there.
Chris is at the Southgate bandwagon, of course he is. He's not even with us anymore. Southgate, for me, did a great job. Baffles me. He got 2 Euro finals, both lost, by the way. One of them on our own turf when we were in the ascendancy. Went 1-0 up early on. He went into defence mode and didn't got out of it. And then threw a kid under the bus and a bit of shootout.
Yeah.
And then obviously and obviously the World Cup itself, in semi, again in the ascendancy in that time against Croatia, of an Asian Croatia. What did he do? Like did in the Euros? Oh, handbrake on. Does he get out of it when things go wrong? No. So no, I'm not with it. And then obviously last summer, got us to a final, chance of redemption, get people back on his side. What does he do?
Fucks it up.
No Spain, yeah, no Spain a good side now and all that, but they're there for the taking. We could have done a job, showed our flex our muscle, so to speak. But yet again, no. He kept on playing Southgate, not Southgate. He kept on playing Harry Kane, even though Harry Kane done nothing in that tournament for his country. Let's be brutally honest. In terms of put ball in the net as a striker, he's captain. I can't drop my captain. Experiment at the wrong time during a fucking tournament. You experiment before the tournament. You do not experiment when the tournament's getting underway for you and during. You figure out your best 11 and you go over it. You do not. I'm going to try Trent in midfield because Klopp does it once the blue moon. No. And it backfired on him. And it backfired. And yeah, it got us to Euros final, but never won them. Got to a semi-final of a World Cup. Do we get behind it? No. For the following World Cup, what happened? France, there for the taking. What happened? We lost. We're at a whimper as well. The performances were absolutely abysmal. Let's be brutally honest as well. And again, we can't really judge the performances with Tuchel because he's only 3 games in with in this job. We're getting the wins on the board with 3 wins out of 3, 9 points out of 9 in terms of the qualifying so far for the World Cup next year. We're getting the results, but the performances will come eventually, you would hope, between now and the World Cup. But my main concern is his favouritism towards Chelsea is showing very early on, and I'm not liking it. As we've already mentioned, Reece James has barely played for his club, gets a call up. But why? Because he's a former player of said manager, it seems. And the game yesterday where we should be racking the goals up, playing 11, rack the goals up. Is he experimenting again? Why on earth are we calling Ivan Toney, who's playing in terms of the level that he's playing, where he plays for his club now in Saudi Arabia, to what you want him to be playing that, and where he would be playing that for his country? It's majorly different. The levels aren't going to be there. Fitness level, it's just not. It's not going to work. Plus the whole politics behind it as well. And then you've got Henderson, who played
12 years ago.
plays in, yeah, and also he's playing. He went to Saudi, got the back, had the backfire. Went, I'm getting backfire for this. I'm going to go to Ajax. Goes to Ajax, takes the armband just because it's Jordan Henderson apparently, and then leads said team this season to bottle the league with 5 games to spare. Oh, and back in January, had a massive tiff with the media in the January window. And he's getting picked still. Why? Because there's clearly something there in terms of, his experience, the experience put to one side. There's a situation there in his head in terms of ego. And do you want that sort of ego festering in the team when you're going to a World Cup? You want to win the World Cup, pick the right players for not just 11, but for your squad, for morale. And why on earth is Ben White still not? If Reece James is getting picked with barely playing any games, why is Ben White not being picked for barely any games?
I think they're still trying to work that out within the camp, within the Ben.
No, apparently Tuchel, when his first press conference, said that Ben White's put himself forward, like Ben White now wants to play for England and all that. It's just about getting his fitness back up to speed and going from there, basically. Well, so I understand that's what's cool, but then you're not holding that same line for someone like Reece James, and that's why I'm saying there's a clear Chelsea bias coming in here, and I'm not liking it. So that could make or break Thomas, basically, come this time next year, basically. Yeah, the World Cup's getting ready to get underway in about a year's time. But it could be worse. Could have Poch. Sorry, Catherine.
Again, I don't follow the men.
And Gary, if you're watching still. I just know. I just know. What, obviously, assuming England don't throw it away, we do qualify this World Cup. I just know that for a fact, England and the USA will be drawn in the same group again. Always seems to be the way for the last few World Cups. Whenever they're both in it, we both play each other in the group stages. It's just it'd be sod's law opening game England versus USA just for the sake of it because you're pulling the numbers.
Well,
Um,
it's between
it would
three
do in the
host
sense of because of the
nations,
history
so
of
it's
the
all going to
countries.
depend on. That's the one thing that I don't like is that it's between U.S., Canada, and Mexico. So
Yeah,
you have three host
final
nations
itself is
that
the US.
are automatically qualified, and
Yeah,
then on top of that, the opening game is supposed to be the host nation versus whoever it happens to be, and it's the only game
whoever's
that's
been drawn.
happening
Yeah,
on the first day. And
how they deciding that out of the three of you, basically.
yeah, and I mean most of the matches are being played in the U.S. I think opening match is
I
going to
think
be
it will
held
come
in
down.
the Coliseum, or it's going to be held. It's either at the Coliseum or where the Rams play.
Oh, LA.
I mean,
Yeah.
they're both in LA, but then the final is also going to be held there. It's all going to depend, I think, on
Yeah.
the draw and everything. But
I think they'll probably give because obviously it's mainly in the US the World
U.S. will
Cup.
go for this one.
They'll US will do opening night basically, and it'll be like the other two match day two basically respectively.
Yeah, 2031 Women's World Cup. The U.S. won the bid for that, but then in the past couple weeks, it came out that it's going to be, I think, dual between Mexico and Canada, or sorry, Mexico and the U.S. So
Of course it
the
is.
main, I mean, obviously the main for that would be the U.S. because they won the initial bid.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't win
But
it
also
as a joint.
And there's also the added factor of in terms of the Women's World Cup for that one. The US had the bigger pool, but in terms of fans and natural history, in terms of the tournament itself, and it's more likely that you'd out of the two you'd go for you'd get not get out the group stage, but go far in the tournament because of your history, respectively. And plus, Hayes would probably still be there at that point as well.
Yeah.
But we've got our own situation here in Europe because obviously the next Euros is a UK and Ireland hosting it. So in terms of like, so you've got England, Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland, and Republic of Ireland. 5 countries co-hosting, but only 3 countries can be automatically put into max.
So would they go
as
UEFA?
So as a co-host, so two of them 5 have got to qualify, and we haven't even decided that yet.
It should, if it's down to that, then it should be based off of UEFA coefficient.
Which would mean England. I don't know. I think it's England, Wales, Scotland. I think currently on coefficiency.
I need to figure out what I'm going to eat for dinner. I don't know what I'm going to eat.
Yeah, and I'm going to get myself out of here as well. But yeah, obviously, congratulations to Portugal. I think they defended it actually. I think they won it last time out as well.
I did see that it was Ronaldo's second time winning the trophy, but it didn't sound like it was back to back.
No, this is for me. This is just confidence. But again, because I wasn't here last night, I thought I'd come here, do it tonight. Started off all right. So up till 2. Game on here, got a decent game. I honestly thought Spain were disappointing in one sense because not only did they lose, but defensively they didn't have much to do, and they let 2 goals. They shipped 2 goals basically, and let Portugal do what they've done. From extra time onwards, both teams played for penalties weirdly, and yeah. But leaving obviously it is what it is. I'm going to go now, guys. Obviously, thanks to Catherine for keeping me company. You guys in the chat as well. A few new faces there as well. Champions 25. to name one of them. Well, I think we'll be back tomorrow. I think we'll be back tomorrow for the women's season review with Liam and Brooksy in their show for the women's season review. 8:30. I need to double check with Liam in a sec about that one, so keep an eye out for that. And then the rest of the week, I'm trying to think now, it's going to be an interesting one because Liam's away from Tuesday, and I don't know I need to double check when he's back because obviously affects what we usually do on a Thursday. I don't think he's back on time for Thursday, so I think we've moved things. I think we're moving things about. We need to double check of that. So we'll let you know tomorrow on that side of things. Either way, in terms of Cannon and Jones for this week, and then I think it's pretty much. And unless anything happens from an Arsenal point of view, transfer wise, we won't be doing anything this week in terms of shows other than them two shows, respectively. I think next week. So was it next week the Club World Cup gets underway?
On the 16th sounds right. So next week Monday, yeah.
I think so. I think it's Inter Miami doing the opening game. I can't remember they're playing, but because it's Inter Miami, it's Messi. And obviously, Messi is the face of Inter Miami and that side of things. I'll probably do a watch along for that, just to get it's opening, just for the intrigue and obviously watch Messi basically. And go from there in terms of tournament. Let's go from there really in terms of what games. I'm not doing all the games.
I was going to say it's probably going to be late nights because they're spread throughout the country. So, I mean, if there's any game that's being played in LA that kicks off at 8 p.m. LA time, I'm not going to be up because that's like what.
Yeah, no, that's fun. That's absolutely fun. No problem with that. But it's just I thought I'd give obviously that's Messi. And there'll be other games as well, big hitters, but the big hitters that we know of play each other and all that. It's like Madrid versus whoever. And it's heavy. Madrid are a heavy favourite example. I'm not covering that because it's just boring for everyone. Really, it needs to be an entertaining game for us all. So them sort of games we'll be doing just to pass time really. In amongst all the transfer shows that Liam will be hosting from next week onwards. Along with the Cannon and Jones show, just keeping things ticking over, really. So aside from that, Tuesday can do. I'm up back on Tuesday actually for the England game against whoever we're playing on. I think it's Senegal. It's friendly. I think it is a playing. So I might do that. Might bore myself for that one. Why not? I did bore myself last night, so I bore myself tonight. Tuesday night, sorry for that one. So you're getting me on Tuesday. There you go. You best appreciate it. That's all I'm going to say. Going by what I've heard about last night. But yeah, we'll be back then. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, share the content around, and we'll see you soon. And as always, up the Arsenal. Come on, you Gunners.